O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
Why is it that you get locked out in the worst moments of your life?
Where are my car keys? Man, I can't find my house keys.
In those frustrating moments, you need a locksmith you can count on. A. Lenny Locksmiths in South Florida, from Miami to Port St. Lucie. In Central Florida, A. Lenny locks it down in Orlando and Tampa Bay. Lockouts or lock changes for home or business, car key replacements, and programming all model cars. 24-hour service. Call them at 855-869-5625. Go to the website at alennylocksmith.com.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house! Get out of the house!
Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
Sports Grill on Bird Road, Miami Lakes, and their newest location in Doral is now hiring. If you're looking to join a great company and South Florida institution, give them a ring or drop an email. Sports Grill is hiring all kinds of positions, from hostess to servers, bartenders, or join the kitchen staff to craft some great food for their amazing customers. Please send your resume to m.cruz@sportsgrillmiami.com or call 305-219-5726. That's 305-219-5726. Sports Grill. Good food, good drink, good friends. When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com. The Big O Radio Show is looking for partners to join our growing platform. If your business is ready to reach an audience that starts in Florida, crosses the nation while expanding internationally, this is the program that provides that vehicle. The Big O Radio Show is ready to broadcast live anywhere in the world to represent your event or product. To reach out by phone, 786-754-4664. That's 786-754-4664. Or email bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. Help us grow as we provide the content and personal connection corporate entities will never achieve. following statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Yes, sir. Good morning, boys and girls. Ready to rock and roll on a... You made it. It's Friday. Yes. I love it. We're out here at Craig Zinn's Acura Pembroke Pines. A beautiful dealership. Yes. We love it. We love it. We love it. We love it. Man, looking forward to it. This Friday could be a really good day. So we're waiting, hopefully this afternoon, maybe this evening. You know, you might want to follow our Twitter feed because we might have some big news coming for the platform that you guys are definitely going to enjoy. The opportunities of 7 days a week on the platform are coming. So make sure you keep following us there. It is a beautiful Friday here at Acura Pembroke Pines, August 12th. How you feeling, Sean Stanley? You feeling good?
Eyes good.
Okay. I like it. We got a loaded show. Ira Winderman will be joining us with our Acura Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA report. Manny Navarro with our Caneswear Miami Hurricanes report. Omar Kelly and our EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report, and Cameron Wolf with our KSDT CPA Dolphins and NFL report. So we are absolutely loaded over the next 3 hours. We got a bunch of things to talk about. We got our liquor split matchup of the night. We got so many things going on. And we may have a new owner to the Miami Dolphins, huh? Jennifer Ross. You know, Dolphin fans, let me take you down this road here, because the second the suspensions were announced, what did we tell you? And I'm telling you, it's gospel. The second the suspensions were announced, what did I tell you? They busted them for tanking. But because they can't really go public about tanking, them or Cleveland or anybody else, because they're tied to gambling sites, they penalize them heavy on the tampering side instead of the tanking side. So that's why you got your first and third. That's why Stephen Ross is suspended for the first 6 games and Bruce Beal for an entire season. Let me tell you something else that the NFL told Stephen Ross and Bruce Beal. Get out. Get out. It's too much of a coincidence. Too much of a coincidence when Bruce Beal was going to take over. So you're going to tell me the overzealous owner that wanted to get Tom Brady to win is all of a sudden going to walk away? The guy that had first dibs at it is going to walk away. No, he's not walking away. The NFL told them to both go away. And since they technically can't completely force them out, i.e. Snyder, he gives it to the wife, they give it to the daughter. And so that's why Jennifer Ross is taking over. Stephen Ross got his ass kicked out of the NFL. And Bruce Beal got his ass kicked out of the NFL. The NFL's not going to tell you that we penalize the Miami Dolphins heavily on the draft side because we did not want to give the NFL a black eye by saying our teams are tanking. And hey, DraftKings, hey, MGM Sportsbook, hey, Caesars, the NFL is not on the up and up. You can't do that because the pocket will be hurt. The reputation will be hurt for the shield. they don't care about Stephen Ross's reputation or Bruce Beal's reputation. They kicked those two fools out of the NFL. That's what happened. Don't let anybody else fool you on this. The Dolphins got penalized a first and a third, which was way too much, but that's because they were also cheating and they were tanking. And because they were tanking, that's why you pay for the first and the third. Because it's not good business for them to admit that they're trying to lose. That doesn't go. That doesn't go. Bet your ass that they kicked Stephen Ross and Bruce Beal the hell out of the NFL. That's what happened here. Don't kid yourselves. Okay? There's no way Bruce Beal goes from, dying to get Tom Brady, buying half the Dolphins, dying to become the controlling interest owner. All of a sudden, you're done and the daughter's taking over. The late, great Jim Mandich used to say, I put it through my nosy and it don't smell so rosy. And to me, that's what this stinks to high heaven. That the NFL told these two fools, hey, you guys put the entire league at risk. Everybody knows you cheated. But we can't even admit that we cheated because you're going to burn the rest of us, you morons. So we're going to give you this suspension. And you know what it is? The college coach that takes over the new program and he walks over to a third and a fourth stringer and he puts his arm around the kid and he says, you're a fantastic young man. I've been around you the last month. I've seen how hard you work. And I owe you this as somebody that cares about a young man and wants him to really advance in life. I don't know if you're going to get an opportunity here. And that may hurt you down the line because it looks like there might be guys in front of you that may not give you that opportunity. But I want you to have that opportunity. And that opportunity might be there for you in other programs. And it might be in your best interest to try to find some options because I really don't want to see a good young man like yourself stay here and lose out on opportunities. Right? That's how the coach massages it by telling him, I'm looking out for you, but I need to also kick your ass out of here. I need your scholarship. I need it for a much better player than you right now. And it's the same thing. The NFL said, you got to understand, we can't take the rap for tanking. So, and Steven, listen, we like you. We understand you tried and everything, but it's probably best if you stepped aside because that's always going to be there. And sure enough, and that's why these two guys are out, and that's why Jennifer Ross is in. And there's no other way to explain the massive amount of change that's happened. There's no other way to explain the breakdown of how you penalize the Dolphins. And by the way, I'm not here to complain about the first and third at all. The Dolphins got what they deserved. They had two stupid owners that put themselves in an absolutely ridiculous position. And so now the team has to pay. And of course, we always pay because we're the ones that are around, thick and thin, all that stuff. These billionaires, whatever, But don't kid yourselves. Jennifer Ross is taking over because they kicked Stephen Ross and Bruce Beal the hell out of the league. That's all. You'll never know about it. We'll never talk about it. Nobody will ever admit it. Probably there's probably a confidentiality agreement already amongst the parties. Bobo says, how you doing? What's up? How you been? What's up, my guy? Stay sharp and safe. Go Dolphins. There. Thank you very much, Bobo. Appreciate you. Big O, I hope she helps us. Well, she can't be as dumb as them. So that's the bright side. I don't think anybody can be as dumb as those fools. So let's hope so. The good thing is you've gotten rid of them. And hopefully she has way more common sense than those two idiots. Steve Chapman in, Big Dan 305. Thank you all. Omar Lopez. Ian from Brooklyn says, Big O, the Tua train is awfully crowded today. All of a sudden, I think I will start to check passengers for their tickets. You better. And when they don't have a ticket, kick their ass out. Kick them to the curb with Joe Shad and Omar Kelly. Greater good in, Michael Fernandez to extreme. Says Bruce Beal out as new owner. Looks like Ross is tired of being embarrassed and seeing the light. Yeah, the NFL made him see the light. Sean Campbell is in. Thank you, Sean, out in Atlantic City as always. Greater good. John Padilla says, let's go. Last day of the job. New job next week. Going to the Niners-Packers game tonight. Great Friday, Big O. I didn't watch anything yesterday. I didn't watch any football. I didn't watch the Field of Dreams game.
Yeah, I didn't watch that. I like the new the NFL Plus. I was able to watch both games because I had the NFL Network on the TV and then I had my phone on the other game. So I was able to watch both. Not that I paid a lot of attention to it, but I got to watch Malik show out a little bit.
I was kind of burnt out yesterday.
They're playing against.
Plus, I told you about the last 14 hours.
Yeah. And let me tell you something.
I just kind of like zoned out with the wife and just watched television.
If you want to watch a rookie's development in the NFL, watch Zappy, the quarterback for the Patriots, in the first half, and then watch him in the second half when he settles down. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
You talking about the NFL being too fast for somebody at the beginning of that game?
Yeah.
Oh, he was very.
So, but did he get better as the game went on?
It did get better.
Oh, yeah, but then again, the talent is less.
The talent starts dropping. And then also, I think they might have maybe said, oh, you know what, let's dumb down our offense a little bit. And it was a lot of little intermediate passes to settle them in, I think, because it was just, dude, it was like they were moving at 100 miles an hour and he was at about 75.
So they didn't play the starter?
Mac Jones didn't play.
Okay.
No, it started with,
I didn't watch. I don't know.
Hoyer started the first series, took him down for a touchdown, and then Zappy played the rest.
Okay. Hoyer, perfect time for him preseason.
He's a king.
Oh, God. Heat Fins in. John Padilla, Jesse M. Let's see. Greater Good. Michael Cotty up in Buffalo. Thank you, Cotty. Alex Palenzuela. Sneak Attack 305, Howard Stack Johnson, Ragin 6193. Man, you guys are just loading it up. Thank you all out there, man. Let's see. Jamie says, good morning, Big O, Sean and Finn's Nation from Torreon, Mexico. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel, and it's looking bright for our Dolphins. Let's go. Lisa Rose in. Lisa was texting me yesterday. And I was talking with Lisa yesterday while I was watching television with the wife. And yeah. I got Lisa, one day I will tell you what really had happened to me in the last 14 hours. Woo! Life is amazing. I got to tell you. Life is amazing. Big O, do you think the NFL will bring the hammer down on Watson before the Browns season game tonight? Yes, I do. I think they'll announce the year suspension by this afternoon for him. Yes, there's no doubt about it. And he should be suspended for that and even longer because he is, in my eyes, he's as guilty as it gets. And he's a sick individual. Something wrong with that guy. I don't care what anybody tells me. And I'm pretty consistent on this. This has nothing to do because the Dolphins didn't get him or anything. Just in case you're new to the channel, just in case you just tuned in the last couple days, week, month, never wanted Watson. At no point. None. Don't want anybody. I'm fine with Tua Tagovailoa. I don't want to make any changes. I'm fine with the front office. I've been fine with the front office from day one. In fact, I am the only media member in the entire country that 5 years ago wrote, or 4 years ago. Yeah, something like that. It was maybe, somewhere around the 4-year range. It was before Chris Grier was hired. I said fire Gase and Tannenbaum and hire Chris Grier. And I've stuck with my guns with that. I believe in Chris Grier. I believe in Marvin Allen. I believe in Reggie McKenzie. I believe in Tua Tagovailoa. The only concern I've ever had about Tua coming out of the draft that would have shied me away from picking the kid would have been his injury history. That's it. I've never doubted his abilities. What I did doubt last year was the coaching. That was just something that to me stood out like a turd in a punch bowl. And by the looks of the offense so far, it's looking like it was all coaching last year with the Miami Dolphins. So I'm not the guy that has been, flip-flopping. I'm not the guy that changes my tune, every other week about this. I've been steadfast about all of this. And just like I have not wanted to give up on Tua or Austin Jackson or Noah, because I didn't feel like they've had the enough of an well, Tua for me had already proven that he's fine. He's gotten under the worst conditions, he did a good job. Now with better conditions, he's going to kick ass. So I have no worries about him, but I'm seeing Austin Jackson already turn the corner. Noah, who knows? It might take longer or it may never happen. But overall, I love what these guys are doing in the front office. I think this is the right quarterback. The idea was, can you get the right coaching staff? And McDaniel looks like he might be the better coaching staff than the guy we had here prior. And that's why last year, when a lot of you were praising the winning streak, I was criticizing the 1-7 start. Because in the end, it didn't matter how you finished. What ruined your season was your start. And that goes on flow. And that's where the focus was lost. And that's why I was also steadfast last year during a winning streak, telling you that Flo was going to get fired. And sure enough, he got fired. So for me, never wanted Watson. Don't want Brady. Not looking for Sean Payton right now. Not looking for any of that. I like what I see from the Miami Dolphins. I'm feeling good about it. And I've been burned many, many times in the past, with the Dolphins. There's no doubt about that. We all have. But I'll take my chances here. I like what I see. I like the coach. And I want to see this quarterback have some success. And I believe he will this time. I really do. So I'm glad they didn't get Watson. I'm glad they have stuck with these. I'm glad that the idiots on the periphery failed, because I think they might have set this team back again. And maybe their incompetence, just maybe, the incompetence has locked in Tua, has locked in McDaniel, and hopefully if they succeed, that would be the bright side of losing the first and third rounders, ladies and gentlemen. Because we all thought that Jimmy Johnson was the answer. We all thought Bill Parcells was the answer. We all thought Nick Saban was the answer. So who says Sean Payton would have been the answer? Jimmy won double the Super Bowls Sean Payton did, and he didn't get it done here. Parcells won double the Super Bowls that Sean Payton won. He didn't get it done here. So when you keep thinking about, we could have gotten this, that doesn't mean you were going to win. Just remember that. Those of us that are old enough in the mid-90s, as we pushed Shula's ass right out the door because we said the game had passed him by, guess what our dumbasses were doing? And I'm one of those idiots, by the way. But see, I'm a brutally honest guy. So when I'm an idiot, I'm going to admit that I'm an idiot. The problem is some of you out there, when you're idiots, you're not willing to look in the mirror and say you're an idiot. But in 96, I was a moron. Oh, let's get rid of Shula because Jimmy Johnson will bring what he did in Dallas to Miami. Weren't we saying that? Weren't we saying that, Sean? Huh? How many of us idiots were drinking that Kool-Aid? So we drank the Saban Kool-Aid. We drank the Parcells Kool-Aid. None of it worked, man. Drank the Sue Kool-Aid. Drank the Ricky Williams Kool-Aid. We're drunk. Man, what is it? What's that guy's name? Something Jones that poisoned all those people with his own Kool-Aid back in the day? What was the name of that? That we've been poisoned by something like that, Jones or whatever that guy's name, over and over again, a.k.a. the Dolphins and our sick enthusiasm to win. Maybe the stupidity of Stephen Ross and Bruce Beal, maybe the fact that they're so bad at being criminals and getting busted for Jim Jones. There you go. The Jim Jones juice. Jonestown, exactly. Right. Maybe their stupidity is now our savior because maybe McDaniel and Tua were the answer the entire time, and these morons were trying to ruin something that you finally got right. But what I don't want you to think, because that'll happen, and those of you that are young and have no perspective and did not experience this like we have, like we did with Parcells, like we did with Saban, like we did with Jimmy. Remember Jimmy? We're going to be special. He didn't make anything special. He left a special defense. I'll give him that. But he didn't make the team special. They were never special. They were a freaking embarrassment in the playoffs. Jimmy Johnson, as a Miami Dolphins coach, was a flat-out embarrassment in the playoffs. And we thought that was the answer because we were drinking the Kool-Aid. So before you sit there and panic and say we could have had this, we could have had that, nothing assures you of any kind of success. So why don't you do this? Mike McDaniel looks like a really good guy. Tua Tagovailoa is a fantastic human being, and I think he's a exceptional player, and I think he's going to prove to be a great quarterback. Those of you out there that are too drunk off thinking what could have been, why don't you sober up and follow a good dude and a team right now that looks like they're on the rise. Enjoy the moment. Enjoy Tyreek Hill and Waddle. Enjoy Teron Armstead being a part of this team. Enjoy watching Xavier Howard and, Javon Holland and Emmanuel Ogbah and Jalen Phillips and Christian Wilkins. There's a lot of good dudes on this team, a lot of fun players on this team. There's a lot of color on this team. And I don't mean by skin color, you idiots. I mean by personalities, man. Fun people to follow. Get behind it, man. Enjoy it. Don't live in the past. Don't worry about what could have been. Watson may not be the answer either. And what, you wanted that representing your franchise? A predator? No, I want Tua. I want a decent human being. I want a man representing, because Watson doesn't represent anything that should call a man. Men don't treat women that way. That's disgusting. So get behind good people. Mike McDaniel looks like a good person. Tua Tagovailoa is a fantastic person. It's a lot to be proud of right now for the Miami Dolphins. Forget about the periphery. Worry about the people on the field. They're doing their job, man, and they're representing you the right way. The owner isn't, but from the personnel department down, they're doing their job. So do your job as a fan and support them. All right, you want to get in on the Welton Rayom text line, 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056. 1056. If you want to get in on the Welt and Rayon text line, you can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us there as always. And, when you do this every day, you got to bring the edge. And that's hopefully what the Dolphins will have this season. The Canes will have this season. The Heat, boy, they're looking for that extra edge this offseason. We'll see if they add it in free agency. And if you want the edge, you go to myedgedrink.com, the finest energy drink on the planet. Zero aftertaste. When I tell you zero aftertaste, I'm not kidding. And I don't like energy drinks. Most of them have an aftertaste. It bothers me. Edge has zero. It's delicious. It's smooth. It has zero aftertaste and only 78 calories. And it's an amazing elixir. So if you want to mix it up with a little rum, a little vodka, you can do it. You can only order it online at myedgedrink.com. You can't go to CVS. Can't go to Walgreens. Can't go to Publix. Winn-Dixie. No supermarket. Got to go to myedgedrink.com. And if you use our code Big O, you will get 10% off. So you want the finest energy drink on the planet? Go to myedgedrink.com. Use our code Big O. Get 10% off. We switch gears. We talk a little basketball. Ira Winderman and our Acura of Pembroke Pines. Miami Heat and NBA report. That is next.
Heat fans, time for the best insight of your favorite team with insider Ira Winderman, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. It's the Acura of Pembroke Pines, Miami Heat and NBA report. Here's Ira Winderman.
There he is. He is ready to go.
Can we just change the name to the Acura Pembroke Pines Kevin Durant report? We'll change it back at the beginning of September when maybe we have a clue. But Big O, I was even thinking this morning, the one you've spoken. Matter of fact, when we did all this planning for the Big O show,
the Sixers option now, Ira.
Oh, and we'll get to that in a second. When you came to me and we first started this over at Onside and now with the Big O show and our Acura Pembroke Pines report, you said you wanted to go year round because the NBA was year round.
Of course.
And then you had a summer like this where on one hand, and I sort of been thinking about this the last few days, the NBA has slowed down because of Kevin Durant.
Yeah, this has been the worst off season in, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years.
I'm gonna sort of go another way with this, Adam Silver, if he can't get a busy personnel offseason, wants to keep his league out there. Kevin Durant has done an unbelievable job of keeping the NBA out there because not only is he involving the overall speculation of the league, the NBA schedule will be out next week. We'll talk about that in our Acura Pembroke Pines report, in our Red Recover Inside the Paint on Wednesday. But he's involved so many different teams. It's fantastic. The Kevin Durant story, remember when it all started? It was a Warrior story and whether he was going back there. Then it was a Phoenix Suns story until DeAndre Ayton did his offer sheet and couldn't go there. Then it was the Heat. Then it was Jaylen Brown and the Celtics. Now it's Toronto. Now it's Philadelphia. Kevin Durant has created the type of offseason buzz that if the NBA was lacking, he's filled everything. It's remarkable. I do not recall LeBron James, when he did all his offseason, we can call them shenanigans or spotlight seeking, he was done 2 weeks into July. Kawhi Leonard, when he kept us all on hold in Vegas, okay, it was July 10th, 11th, 12th. We were done there. Kevin Durant has owned the NBA, and here's the fascinating thing. No NBA player is more cognizant of social media, has more burner accounts on social media. Yet in that realm, he has said nothing. He has denied nothing. And I always say this, you don't have to deny the negative, deny the falsehood. I understand that. The Heat will always tell us, hey, if we deny trade X, Y, and Z, then you're going to go, aha, rumor A you didn't address, so I can see that. But if anything is so blatantly wrong, if he didn't demand Steve Nash being fired, if he didn't demand Sean Marks being fired, if he didn't open up his trade list to other teams, all he has to do is to go on Twitter. We're all following, all gabillion of us, and tell us, hey, there's nothing to it. So there is smoke and there is fire here, and it's holding the NBA hostage. But man, Big O, this also is fascinating how one player has dominated a league for the last month. Hell, we've almost forgotten about Donovan Mitchell. You and I couldn't stop talking about Donovan Mitchell. So I think this summer of slow NBA really has become the summer of Durant.
Yeah, and it's going to end up coming to like a head at one point where it's going to explode, and a
Yes.
whole bunch of deals are going to take place too, and it's going to put a lot of teams up against I guess in a difficult position because they're going to have to make quick turnarounds because. By the way, we're approaching the middle of August now, and training camps will open up in just over a month. So now the sands of the hourglass are kind of running out too at the same time because now you're running into the season. It's not so much the Durant move, it's the domino effect of all the other players that are waiting to happen because we still don't know if John Collins is going to get moved. What's going to happen with Jay Crowder? What's going to happen with Harrison Barnes? What's going to happen with Miles Turner? It's all these other dominoes that need to happen. And even the Utah kid is waiting for what happens with Brooklyn.
Donovan Mitchell also in there. And the other part of this equation is, one of the big stories in sports the last few months has been the Live Golf Tour and how golfers are independent contractors and they have every right to only think of themselves because it's not a team sport. And if I want to go with Saudi money, if I want to just, stay loyal to the tour, if I want to be a Tiger side or Phil side, that's fine. The NBA is supposed to be a fraternity. It is a team sport. There is a players association, the NBPA, that works together. And yet the reality is these are a bunch of independent contractors for this reason. Kevin Durant knows he's holding up an entire league. Kevin Durant knows the very players he will hug at midcourt, from Tyler Hero to Tobias Harris to Jaylen Brown during the season and maybe during the All-Star game, he now has all of their futures in his hands. And what it really shows you is these guys can talk for all they want about continuity and teamwork and all that. These guys are independent contractors. Who's Kevin Durant looking out for right now? Kevin Durant, and only Kevin Durant. And so, yeah, if I'm a player, I go to the Players Association and I say, hey, am I buying or renting in Boston? Am I buying or renting in Philly? If I'm Tyler Hero, am I getting my extension or am I being put on hold through October? So it's a really interesting situation there. I almost wondered in the background if Adam Silver wasn't going, guys, this is really late for our schedule. Should we give the Brooklyn Nets the maximum 20 national broadcasts because they're fascinating even in a crash and burn scenario? Or are we going to wind up featuring Royce O'Neal like we did, Julius Randle for 20 games?
Lakers East. Are we going to feature
Yes.
Lakers East? Because that's what they did to us last year. They kept feeding us the effing Lakers.
And the
and
Knicks.
I had no interest in watching the stupid Lakers. And by the way, the NBA is always way ahead of the NFL. This is the one time the NFL is ahead of them. How about a flex schedule, baby? All right, let's go. Come on.
And instead, ABC locks in those Saturday showcases, and they're done for the year. There is a little bit of schedule change, and we've seen it with the Heat over the years, but we don't know. Oh, I agree. Last season,
flex them out, dude. If you know they suck already a month or two ahead of time, you got plenty of time to change what game you want. Come on, man. Let's go.
Except the difference is the NFL has limited dates. The problem with the NBA is we know that Turner gets Tuesday, Thursday, ESPN gets Wednesday, Friday. So you sort of have to have the inventory in the right place. This has been a real puzzle for the league. The schedule will be out next week. I think they are thinking of either or games. But Big O, last year between when I came home from FTX Arena and turned on TNT or ESPN, I'm like, no, I don't want to watch the Lakers again. Or when it was a day off and I sat in front of the TV and I turned on Turner and ESPN and saw it was a Knicks game, hey, there was no choice. I was watching the Panthers instead. They made it easy for me. But this whole Durant thing, and now Philadelphia, and I just don't get it. Are you telling me right now that all of a sudden Tyrese Maxey is good enough to get this deal done? Because it sure as heck ain't Tobias Harris with that monster contract he has to be a fourth element, a fourth man on a team. It's just so all over the place that I think it really almost has to come down to Adam Silver, Sean Marks, or even Joe Tsai and Kevin Durant in a room and saying, hey, this isn't just about you. This is about our league, our new TV deal, our rising revenues. Let's get something done. Because the more it drags on, Big O, I want to be in Brooklyn for Media Day on September 26th. I can only imagine.
Okay, but now the hilarious part is Durant gives Joe Tsai an ultimatum, and he says whether it's me or Nash and Sean Marks. And look, far be it from me or any of us to defend Steve Nash because he has not shown us anything as a head coach that he's at least I give Steve Kerr, who also did not deserve the job when he got it, but over time has proven to us that, you know what, he's definitely a damn competent coach and he can do it. Steve Nash has not shown us a damn thing so far. So I get it. But here's the thing. If you're Kevin Durant, how do you have the balls to look at those two when you're the one that wanted Kyrie? And also you got your buddy Harden, who's overweight and a slob. You know, come on, man. If you're going to point fingers at anybody, point it at those two idiots. Don't point it at the other idiots. Come on.
Especially at Sean Marks, the GM, who has given him everything he wanted. I would love to put Sean Marks on the lie detector and say this with each move. Is this something you truly wanted, or is this something you truly believe would keep Kevin Durant content? So you made it. So you gave in for it. The Kyrie signing, the James Harden trade, some of the moves he's made otherwise, not giving away your future drafts because Kevin Durant is 34 and is not going to be around when those drafts are made. So I can get all of that. I understand all of that. Even the Sloman's home shield man is raising his hand and saying enough is enough. For those watching us on the YouTube channel, I get all of that. But man, it's just when I look at that to try to get rid of the general manager there, that's where I think you're sort of overstepping your bounds because Sean Marks has bent over backwards to give him everything he wants. You know what, Big O? I'm with you to this degree. I don't think Steve Nash has necessarily done anything wrong. He's growing as a coach. It was a COVID season. He had a player who couldn't play, who played only half the games. He had another player who decided to get fat again because he wanted to get traded. There's some things you can't overcome. And I do agree. If you put in a Jeff Van Gundy or a winning, proven coach, maybe Stan Van Gundy, someone like that, you will be better because they've been there, seen it, done it in the playoffs. Right. No offense to Steve Nash. It's the same thing as when Jason Kidd tried to coach Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce and Darren Williams and was learning on the job himself. Right. Yeah. That's a decision they made. They made it in concert with Kevin Durant, who stood up for his coach. But at some point, it's interesting. I love sort of conjecture and controversy. It makes for very easy writing. But on the other hand, and you're in the same business, Big O, because you got a big mouth yourself. But on the other hand, isn't there a point where you almost want to go to Kevin Durant, shut the F up, and just get something done?
Yes, of course I do. Yes, I'm tired of it. And it's what you said, to get back to one of the points you just made, that the commissioner would be saying, it's not just about you, dude. There's there's a livelihood of a lot of people. Like I don't even know if he's married or not, but Harrison Barnes, if he's going to get moved, well, brother, he needs to get moved to a new city. Does he have a wife or a girlfriend? Do they have kids? All these people, their lives.
Crowder, Miles Turner, John Collins, up and down the line. Absolutely.
Yeah. So there's a lot of adjustments for teams, for players, for families. So let's, it's almost like, let's have a heart here. Hey, Kevin, dude, you're a petulant child. You've had your way every single time. You're the idiot that left a great situation in Golden State. Why? Because you let people get in your head that, you went to a ready-made team. Well, brother, you won 2 championships and you were the best player. That justifies why you went there with all the pressure. You answered it and you were the best player. You should have stayed there. You had no business in leaving. You have created this hell for yourself, and now you're creating hell for everybody else in the league. It gets to a point where you're like, Kevin, enough is enough, brother.
And the thing is, he went to Brooklyn because he wanted the New York market. He wanted to do his marketing and his business, and God bless him. You have that right. We can all be complete people.
LeBron went to LA. It's
right. You can want more. You can be a sports writer trying to do radio to the best of your ability because you want to try something and do a little bit more. But let me get this straight now. He wanted the largest market in New York in the Eastern Conference that he could take over. But now he's willing to go to Philadelphia or Miami or Toronto, leaving the country, or Boston. That's where it sort of gets odd. And that's why I'd like to see Kevin Durant get on social media and just let us know, what are you asking for? What are you looking? What are the rules of this KD game that you're putting out there? That's what makes this whole thing sort of so unnerving and so confusing. And it just keeps on going.
All right, so I'm reading your article, and okay, so the Heat, I know soon, whenever I retire from radio, my favorite number is 4, and they'll probably retire it, not cyclically, it will be for me, because they retire everybody's number. So now we're retiring, of course, for Bill Russell, but they're going to retire it a second time for LeBron. So we're going to have 2 6s.
Well, the 2 6s in 2 different places. As you know, the Dan Marino jersey and the Michael Jordan jersey are buried on the top of the rafters and not in a spotlight against the south wall. So you'd have to strain your eyes to see it there. The other banners of Shaq and Alonzo and Hardaway and Wade and Bosh are prominent, as they should be, for their numbers there. But you do not disagree with retiring LeBron's jersey, correct? Really?
Yeah, him and Shaq, I'm not really into because it's short. You know what I mean? I know it was impactful. I know they won the titles, but it was so short that I just kind of want you to be here longer. If I'm going to retire your number, I need you to be here for a long period of time. And then how he ended the run here and how he screwed Riley and the moratorium and all of that. If he didn't handle it the right way, even coming here, him and Bosh, I hated that they forced Riley to trade the picks so they could keep the bird rights and all that, which morons, all those picks could have helped this thing keep going if you let Riley keep them so he can use them as trade bait to get people, and they hurt themselves along the way. I just have a hard time retiring the number of hit and run players, even though they brought a title. I kind of want the guy that feels like like Tim Hardaway is a Heat player. Sure. Alonzo Mourning is a Heat player. Dwayne Wade is a Heat player. You know what I mean? Bam will be a Heat player. Jimmy is now developing into that he is bleeding for this team. He wants to be here. Not, let me use you as my stepping stone was it the Monkeys? Was it the Monkeys? Was that the Monkeys? I'm not your stepping stone. Who was that?
You got me there.
I don't know. Anyways, stepping stone. Tell me who it is. Anyway, so that's the only reason why it bothers me a little bit. The LeBron and Shaq one. Yeah.
I mean, and they both ended ugly on the way out the door. My perfect scenario is you retire LeBron's number. Huh? You have this.
Oh, Paul Revere and the Red Raiders.
Paul Revere and the Raiders. There you go. So you have your ceremony for LeBron. You bring him out there. You have the jersey on the easel over there. And then you have Pat Riley step to the podium and going, I'd love to be here, but I got to go watch a soccer game. And he just walks off. Then everything would wind up going full circle. So maybe you do that. But you know what, Big O? Yes, it's a short tenure, but 4 straight trips to the NBA Finals and 2 of your franchise's 3 NBA championships. It's interesting. When I spoke to Kurt Heelan on our Red Recover Inside the Paint show, 9 a.m. on Wednesdays here on the Big O Show, he thought the Lakers are going to retire eventually.
Oh, I'm sure
LeBron's number.
That's LA, bro. Yeah.
Right. So it's that's just sort of where you go with that. And I got to tell you, it would be odd to sort of have Wade and Bosh knowing you had a big 3 and not having the third member of the big 3. So I think that even more than Shaq sort of gets him in the door for that. You know what I think the weirdest thing is going to be?
So in Toronto, they're going to retire our boy's numbers because he was there for 1 year and popped the title and left?
You know, Kawhi is a little bit different there. Maybe 1 year doesn't meet your statute of limitations.
But it's a title, right? That's the same thing as Shaq.
Well, that's true. And Shaq, I always thought was questionable. Shaq, I always thought fewer than 4 seasons. The way he left, I thought that, and the way he quit before he left. LeBron, you could say he quit at the end of 2014, but he didn't. He played his LeBron best pretty much to the finish. That's the difference.
Oh, yeah, no. But what he did in that offseason, how he handled it, that I think was absolutely unfair to Riley. He should not have done that. He owed the Heat franchise to at least leave and give them the opportunity to grow themselves out instead of choking them out and then telling them after the moratorium. And, and on top of all of that, you sign these 2 bums that you thought was going to make him happy, and you draft a kid that you thought was going to make him happy. I mean, that just, God.
No, there certainly was a lot there. But then again, look at what Michael
Jordan. And if Wade is really your best friend,
well,
you're really not telling him what you're doing.
You know
Come
what?
on, dude.
And that brings us full circle today in our Accurate Pembroke Pines report, just like Kevin Durant right now. Is Kyrie your friend? Shouldn't he deserve to be on a team you know? Are any of the Nets players you've grown close to your friends? Shouldn't they know what their season's going to be? Are some of these players you're going to be traded for? Hey, Supposedly, he's very close to Bam Adebayo
Okay.
after they won the Olympics exactly 1 year ago, last August in Tokyo. So aren't you guys close in that regard? Jimmy Butler, the same kind of thing. It's a different world that now, because of social media, we found out about Riley, and we found out about that meeting in Vegas where Riley was going to roll the presentation in, and LeBron said, I got a soccer game on, I got to watch, coach, don't have time right now. Let's face it, Michael Jordan treated Jerry Krause far worse than LeBron ever treated Pat Riley. His numbers in the rafters, he has a statue in Chicago. It's sort of the way, Big O, we know one thing for all the interviews you do throughout the rest of the day today, is the athletes rule the world. It's their world, and we're just all living in it.
Yeah, no, you're right about that. All right, what are you working on this Sun Sentinel, my friend?
Just posted a story today on not only is Bill Russell, there's going to be a commemorative patch, they're going to retire his number around the NBA, but every team is going to have a small clover logo around the scoring table on the court to commemorate Bill Russell. And how, if anyone is seeing crimson over clover, to use a rock and roll reference for you,
yes.
Can you imagine a Pat Riley run team having a Celtics logo on his court? Can you imagine the Lakers having a Celtics logo on their court? It'll be really interesting to me to see how that plays out. I honestly think, and look, what Bill Russell did for society and for the game and everything is a beyond question, anything like that. But I thought I like even how they said a clover-like logo, not a Celtics-like logo, not a shamrock. We all know what it is. I think that's overstepping bounds a little bit. Yes. Having a Celtics logo on all 30 NBA courts this coming season. Look, if there's greatness, that's fine. But what do you do then after eventually Magic Johnson passes and Larry Bird passes and Michael Jordan passes? You're sort of leaving that open to sort of starting a trend. Look, this was a quick decision. I understand they had to make it ahead of the season. But man, Big O, watching Heat games and seeing a shamrock in the court at FTX Arena, that's going to take a little adjusting.
Yeah, no, I'd rather you have a moment where the arena goes dark and you have some lasers go down onto the floor and do that for a moment, and then it disappears.
And then it's gone, yeah.
And then it's gone. You know what I'm saying? You do what some of these European leagues, which I know it's going to come to the NBA. You see what they're going to do, Ira? They've created an LED floor, and now your floor will light up. And so the floor will have all the lines of the NBA court. And then when they come off the court and you want to play volleyball, boom, it'll light up into volleyball instead. And then when they're on a break, they're on a timeout, the entire floor will be your advertising. And it'll all change. The basketball floors around the world are about to change. And they're about to become
the signage
television
you see
screens.
even on courts now, when you don't know what's there and what's not there, when they superimpose it on the Panthers ice, when they superimpose it on the glass behind. So yeah, and look, once we start,
no more taping courts and with the volleyball court taped over and all. Colleges and pros will end up with these new LED type of floors that'll be able to change at a second and be able to do whatever you want and entertain the crowd too at the same time. And that's the kind of stuff that you use for that, because it's blasphemous to have a Celtic logo anywhere on the Heat floor or any other floor that is in this. That's almost like, I don't know, your cell phone falling out of your pocket as you're stealing a base.
I'll leave it at that. Clover-like logo. Why don't they just say leprechaun-like logo? I mean, come on, who are we kidding?
Yeah, exactly. That's the last thing we need, a stinking leprechaun inside every building. We only had to deal with one inside one building. Now we got to have them in all. I mean, what is Jennifer Aniston also going to be in all the buildings with the leprechaun?
I'll leave that to you.
All right. Follow him on Twitter at Ira Heatbeat. Catch his work at the South Florida Sun Sentinel. Make sure you subscribe, por favor, and support our terrific journalist. Ira, as always, we will catch up next week, my friend. Have a fantastic weekend. Thank you.
Catch you Monday on another Acura Pembroke Pines Miami Heat report. Thank you, Big O.
Thank you. There you go. The great Ira Winderman and our Acura Pembroke Pines Miami Heat reports.
You've been listening to the Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA report with Ira Winderman. When you're looking for award-winning service and great deals from the #1 volume Acura sales dealership in the Southeast United States, you go to Craig's Inn Acura of Pembroke Pines at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Alrighty, Ho Yoon, thank you, sir. As always, love on the show, making a donation. Remember, you can always make a donation through Cash App or Venmo. That is Cash Big O Show. Even some have made a Bitcoin donation. You can do that on Cash App at Cash Big O Show if you want to send me a little Bitcoin. The market is a little down right now, the crypto market, slightly. It's not this big giant dip or anything like that. Bitcoin's down just under 3%. It's right under 24,000. It's nothing. It's been over 24,000 the last 24 hours. So it's it's at 23,980. So it's just under 24,000. Minor little down. I just, there's a part of me that thinks that this weekend is going to start climbing. Although Chainlink is over 4%. So it's approaching $9.50 right now. VeChain is up 1%. VeChain is getting closer and closer to 3.5 cents now. It was in the twos. Those of us that loaded up on a little VeChain, nothing wrong with loading up on a little VeChain too. At the same time, we will have Manny Navarro joining us at the top of the hour, so we'll get the latest on what's going on with the Canes. Yes, sir.
And to clarify on the stepping stones question you had. Okay?
Paul Revere?
Okay, so Paul Revere, I'm Not Your Stepping Stone was released in 1966.
Okay.
The Monkees did a stepping stone in 1967.
Oh, okay.
So I went in and saw, and Paul Revere was the one that came up. I don't know which one you were seeing. So
I'm not your stepping stone. I think that's it sounds to me like the Monkees.
Oh yeah, but I'm saying, what I looked up was the fact who released it first. It was released first by
Paul Revere.
And then
redone by the Monkees.
Yeah, because I see people in the chat saying the Monkees. So that might be the version everybody kind of.
That's the one. Now that I'm thinking about it, that's the version I think I like.
I went through and found in '67. They released it. The Sex Pistols released it in 2017.
Really?
Well,
I gotta hear this.
I don't know if it's the same. It's called Stepping Stones.
Okay,
so.
but the Sex Pistols doing. I never knew. I gotta hear that version. I'm gonna check that out tonight when I'm gonna go. I'm gonna watch the Jeter stuff. I didn't watch it last night either. Last night I just tuned out sports, bro. I just tuned out sports. I was in a state of mind yesterday. I was just much better right now. But yeah, it was rough. Nathan Hunt says, will we ever see the day of the development of QB3 again? Skyler, I'd like to see us develop ST into at least a backup. That's what, Nathan, do you watch this show? Do you watch this show every day, young man? You got to watch it every day because we drop nuggets all the time. We tell you things that goes on in the Dolphins building that nobody else tells you. Nobody tells you. And we've let it out a couple of times from the building. They have looked at him like a backup quarterback. They like his skill set. They think he can be a backup quarterback. Teddy Bridgewater is only here for a year. The ideal situation is that he makes enough progress that by next year he is ready to take over and Teddy is gone. And then you can use him like a wildcat guy and some other things because he has a little athleticism to him too, not just a wicked arm. And if somehow or another he fine-tunes that arm with accuracy, look out. He's got the skill set. You can see why they picked him. It's a very good pick in the 7th round. Whether he makes it or he doesn't make it, the eye for talent that these guys have is absolutely outstanding because that kid has every ounce of talent you need to be in the NFL. Now, he is raw. He's got to now polish it up, make that coal into a diamond, react quickly, and be accurate. And those are things that's the hardest part of it. There's a crap ton of guys in the history of sports that the good Lord blesses you with the talent. But then it's up to you to refine that talent to become the comedian you can be, to become the lawyer you can be, to become the athlete you can be, to become the salesman you can be, to become the CEO you can be, to become the engineer and producer that you can be. It's all up to you. It's up to what kind of work ethic you have. So that's up to Skylar now. He's got the talent. Now he's got to fine-tune it. The coaches. And that's the other thing that I think is also rearing its beautiful head right now. Okay? You're watching quarterbacks progress. You're watching offensive line progress. You're watching the offense progress because it looks like you actually have real coaches here. You know, Darrell Bevell has coached like Hall of Fame quarterbacks. Not just quarterbacks, Hall of Fame quarterbacks. Because that's what Russell Wilson is, and that's what Brett Favre is. So, obviously, Darrell Bevell knows something about it. And Mike McDaniel has coached on several teams, and he has developed running games on all those teams. And Frank Smith has been one of the better offensive line coaches in the NFL. So you've got guys that know what the hell they're doing and how to teach these guys. And that's what's coming through now. So that's why even a young quarterback like Skylar is showing you something. That's why a Tanner Connor at tight end is coming out of nowhere going like, who the hell is this guy? Who's this Trill Williams cat? See what I'm saying? That's an eye for talent and then coaching to develop it. That's really nice feature that is developing right now for the Dolphins. And this is why Tua looks good, because now he has competence around him. Ray Grullon, thank you, sir. He says, nice classic UFO cap. Thank you. And I like the Monkeys version better of Stepping Stone. There you go. It is. The Monkeys version is awesome. Last Train to Clarksville is still my favorite Monkeys song because that's just a phenomenal song. But Stepping Stone is just a great tune. I wish those guys would have never tried to want to make their own music. I wish they would have stayed with Don Kirshner and let him continue to make the music. And they probably would have sung way more hits. What a shame. Sometimes that's just the way it works out. You can play the music, you can sing it, but sometimes other people have to write. And that's, I don't know, I don't think people realize, like the Pointer Sisters. They sing Fire, right? Fire is an amazing song by the Pointer Sisters. It's written by Bruce Springsteen, dude. Now, I've heard Bruce sing his own song, Fire, but I'd rather see the Pointer Sisters sing it because it sounds a lot better coming from the Pointer Sisters. It's just an awesome song. And you want to hear Manic Monday from the Bangles, but it was written by Prince. Prince wrote the song, the music, everything, then just handed it to the Bangles, and the Bangles went on to have a hit. You know? Sheena Easton, she can go have a hit thanks to, Prince. Lots of artists over the years have hits that you don't realize they didn't write them. Somebody else wrote the damn song. UB40 sings Red, Red Wine. It was written by Neil Diamond. Yet, that's the quintessential song for UB40. Patti Smythe, Because the Night Belongs to Lovers. You know that song, right? That's written by Bruce Springsteen, man. And that's the song that defines that woman's career. She didn't write it. So the Monkees, they didn't write Last Train to Clarksville. They didn't write Hey, Hey, We're the Monkees. They didn't write their music. But yet they were producing hit after hit after hit. And then they got this ego like, no, we can write our own music. No, you idiot, you can't. So keep riding the coattails of Glenn Campbell and Leon Russell and people like that were part of a group of musicians that were writing your music. because Leon Russell can then go on write his own music, and so could Glenn Campbell and so many of the others that were part of that group of writers. Sometimes you don't, man. When you got a good thing going, Kevin Durant, don't leave Golden State, you idiot. When you got a good thing going, keep it going. Don't ruin it, man. Hour number 1 is done. Manny Navarro starts hour number 2 next.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Sports Grill on Bird Road, Miami Lakes, and their newest location in Doral is now hiring. If you're looking to join a great company and South Florida institution, give them a ring or drop an email. Sports Grill is hiring all kinds of positions from hostess to servers, bartenders, or join the kitchen staff to craft some great food for their amazing customers. Please send your resume to m.cruz@sportsgrillmiami.com or call 305-219-5726. That's 305-219-5726. Sports Grill. Good food, good drink, good friends.
Red Recover now offers a simple-to-use, professional-grade light therapy device designed to help your dog heal and live a healthier life. Red Recover emits red and infrared light therapy based on the same science that NASA developed, all in a soft, flexible housing pad powered by a convenient, rechargeable lithium-ion battery. Give your dog the same therapy that many veterinarians use today, but at a fraction of the cost. Pads are available in 3 sizes and come with attachment straps, clips, and an easy-to-use manual. Red Recover can help your dog with arthritic conditions, muscle soreness, intervertebral disc disease, ACL rehabilitation, performance, aging, and general health and happiness. You simply place the pad over the desired area and allow our proprietary Tri-Light therapeutic wrap to penetrate deep into the tissue where a number of healing parameters will be stimulated. When starting treatment, apply for 10 to 15 minutes daily and lessen the application time as needed for best results. Say yes to science and give your dog the care it deserves with Red Recover.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. Time for Canes fans to get what they want. Information, insight, and perspective. It's the Caneswear Miami Hurricanes Report with Manny Navarro, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. Here's Big O and insider Manny Navarro.
Righty, there he is, the man, the myth, the legend that is Manny Navarro. How you feeling, my man? You feeling good?
Feeling great. Oh, it's Friday. I mean, weekend's here. Canes football just a few weeks away from getting started. Real games to write about. I can't wait till we get to that point.
We are, what, 2 weeks away, right? I think?
September 3rd is the opener. So,
3 weeks away. 3 weeks away.
3 weeks away, yeah.
3 weeks away already. So, yeah, I can't wait, man. We are also getting ready on the platform, hopefully, to do a little some. Hopefully, we will be able to talk about that very, very, very soon. Talk to me. What's going on? What's the latest on the recruiting side right now for the Canes? What stages are we in right now in recruiting?
Well, I mean, this is a sort of quiet period in the sense that, there's no recruits coming on campus right now during camp. the official visits aren't really until September. So we've kind of reached that point where, yes, you're still having communication with kids. You're still trying to, sway some commitments to other schools to come here and visit, etc. But in terms of big actionable things, nothing, with Miami. I think they have the 9th ranked class in the 247 composite, 17 commitments, 5 offensive linemen, so very heavy offensive line class, but nothing imminent. I know the Jaden Bonson kid, he's a 4-star safety out of New Jersey. He's supposed to be committing here soon. He's expected to pick Ohio State over Miami. For a while there, it looked like the Canes were going to get him, but Ohio State missed out on some of their other top-tier kids, and most Jersey kids, the elite ones, end up at Ohio State, so it's not a surprise there.
You wrote an article talking about the changes for Miami under Mario Cristobal, and obviously you've been around watching many, many changes from many different coaches. And I know that Jimmy loves Johnson, loves the approach that Mario is taking. Compare us, Mario, to Manny, to Al Golden, and some of the other experiences that you've had here right now. What is different right now compared to what you've seen in the past?
Well, I think, Manny had a reputation, Manny Diaz had a reputation of being more of a player-friendly coach, right? More in the sense of, he was all about making sure guys wanted to play for him, liked him, those kind of things. I think Mario is from the Nick Saban school of thought of, no, we need to get the best out of you at all times and challenge these kids. And so that's what he does. He's a guy who challenges them in a different way, a different mentality. Keeps everything, every little detail is important to him. When guys are sitting there drinking Gatorade on the sideline, they can't just throw the bottles on the ground. He doesn't want to see sort of a sloppy environment. He wants everybody to throw their stuff away. He wants shirts tucked in. He wants everybody early for meetings, not, just on time. And, the most interesting thing we heard from Media Day was, Tyler Van Dyke saying how under Manny Diaz, guys would bring phones into meetings and the phones would go off, right? There'd be text messages, there'd be phone calls. And
Hey, listen, in baseball, they carry them onto the diamond and it slips out while they're sliding and stealing bases. So really, come on. Manny Diaz's coaching has affected Major League Baseball and everything. Think about that.
Well, none of that stuff is happening under Mario anymore. So he's very old school mentality of, when you come in here, everything has to be buttoned up. You have to look good. You have to act good, be early, all those kind of things. And
can they Joe Horn? Can they hide them under the goalpost? By the way, the flip phone is back, which is what Joe had under there. So we can, in honor of Joe Horn, we can actually put flip phones now under the goalpost.
Listen, man, I'm all for that. I love the antics. Gives me more to write about. But it really is a no-nonsense thing with these guys here. And every coach says that when they come in. It just feels different when you hear the kids say it. I mean, I run to these kids in the parking lot. And that's where I have my best conversations. Not when they're there in front of 40 cameras, right? It's when I run into them when they're walking back to their cars and I sit there and I talk to them for 15, 20 minutes. And, Jake Lichtenstein's a perfect example. He's a kid who transferred back from USC. He was part of all that dysfunction at USC. So he says to me the other day, he says, man, this is just night and day compared to what I experienced at USC. And he said, talking to the guys, he says the environment, just under Mario is so different. Like they themselves see the difference. The kids see the difference. And so, yeah, it's changed a lot, man.
Isn't that a writer? Oh no, that's Adam. I'm sorry.
That's Adam. You're thinking of Adam. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, this guy's 6'7", 280.
I thought Adam was covering himself. He gets in there, plays the game. Then Adam writes about himself. Let me tell you, Adam would. I think we should encourage Adam to do that because that would be historic, right? I mean, he plays and then he writes about himself. Then he interviews himself in the locker room. We got to talk to Adam about that.
I'm going to ask him today when I see him here in a little bit.
Yeah,
we have some of the reporters getting
ready
for practice.
Segment on to Adam so he knows. So he gets inspired to do, these kind of things. Zion Nelson, fill us in. What's the latest with him?
He showed up at practice yesterday, obviously not on the field, but he's got the knee brace off. He had surgery 4 weeks ago now, a scope to basically clean up some cartilage that had been in there, and now it's out of there. And so, in terms of the brace being on, which is a good sign, he said he'd be back in 6 to 8 weeks. So if you do the math, that means 2 more weeks of camp. And once he comes back, they'll integrate him in. He'll have to have, kind of go through all the initial stuff. He's not just going to be thrown to the wolves. So personally, I mean, if he does,
sounds like that first game is going to be like a half-ass game for him, where he may not even play the whole game.
The good news is it's not Alabama.
That's
right?
what I'm saying.
Cookman. Yeah, it's within Cookman. So I think, that's the kind of game that if I'm Mario, why not give it John Campbell, his first career start at left tackle after the kid, fought back from a torn ACL and missed all of last season, is hungry, and then you just swing him over to the right side when Zion comes back, and you give Jalen Rivers and some of these other guys that are also coming back from injury an opportunity to play a lot and get some of that rust off.
All right, I'm going to ask you a question that might be a little unfair because, and I mean by that not because I'm putting you in a bad position, although that's fun to do. But no, it's because you may not have the information. Now, we know that he's eliminated the turnover chain, that silliness, which I'm glad that they got rid of that crap because I hated that when you're losing by 20 and so you get a turnover. Who cares? It's like the idiot that celebrates when they score a touchdown and the other guy looks at him and go, bro, look at the scoreboard. It's 34-10. What are you celebrating? Yeah, you got 7 points, but you're still down by 24 points. What do you, that kind of stuff. So let me ask you, how far are they going to go? I'm just wondering, will he eliminate the smoke? Do you know if they're keeping the smoke at least?
Yeah, I mean, I have yet to hear any hints about them eliminating the smoke.
Have they earned the right? Do they want that smoke? You know what I'm saying? I wonder if he wants to make them earn some of this stuff.
It could be one of those scenarios. I mean, why not? Making them earn the number 1 and the number 26 and all these other numbers, right? The jerseys that he's making them earn. I think that's just part of the fabric, right? I mean, the smoke. Mario took that away. I think people would be really upset, right? What's next after that? Sebastian the Ibis, he can't be on the sideline anymore, right? I mean, what else are you taking away here?
Okay, no, all right, yeah, exactly. Take out Sebastian, that would be no. I'm just wondering, I don't know how bare bones does he want to make it? Guys, you need to earn, because I will say this, that there was an infestation for the decade plus now that a lot of these kids just put on the helmet and they thought that they were the guys from the past and that automatically it was going to happen. And maybe that's the reason why this university has suffered so many setbacks for so long, that those players never really took the pride that those other guys did in the past.
Yeah, I mean, I think that just comes from within. That's the players policing the players, and that's something that I think is going to be a part of this team now. I mean, I think there are some leaders, guys that we just haven't seen do it in the past. I think they've been doing it in the offseason. And I think, that kind of stuff's not going to be tolerated. Mario's not going to tolerate, kind of the things that we've seen here the past 10 or 15 years. And he's getting paid too much money to let those things sort of happen again and to just revert to the previous mistakes. So to me, I'm not worried about it. I mean, I would be stunned if I saw some of those things rear their head.
Now, I don't know if, again, this part is ignorance on my part that I may have here. The history of players in the past that would go out of their way to work out on their own, and it was notorious, and that even the older players, the guys that were in the NFL, would come back to work with them.
Yeah.
Is that starting again? Is there some of that going on? Because I think that's a lot of what made them great also, that the prior players would come back to push the current players.
I think the problem is that Ed Reed has a gray beard now, right? I mean, he's kind of like me. I think the problem is all of those great players that would come back, they don't.
We don't have a lot left in the NFL, is what you're saying.
There's not enough. There's not enough for them to come back and do that stuff. I mean, listen, Ed Reed was on the sideline. You had 45 guys yesterday, former players out here watching the first full pads practice, which Mario wants. But the days of Ed Reed and Willis McGahee and all those guys, I mean, these guys are all my age, bro. They're all in their early 40s now.
Right.
You know, and it's kind of one of those deals where they'll come out and cheer, but they're not. I don't see anybody pushing weights with these guys. It's on their own. They got to do it on their own. It's a rebirth, and the rebirth, there's nobody around to help you go through a workout here.
Right. All right. What are you working on in the athletic, my brother, as we're headed down the stretch here?
Well, it's funny. I caught up with you mentioned the training and the guy who did all that, right? Andrew Swayze, who was here from 97 to 2016 before he went to FIU. He's actually now at Columbus High School, which is obviously Mario Cristobal's old high school. He just got hired there in June, and I caught up with him yesterday. We Bruce Feldman just came out with his freaks list, which I know is kind of like the Bible for NFL scouts. They all want to see what he reports every single year in terms of his freaks. And so I did a all-time Miami Hurricanes freak list with him, with Swayze, because he knows all the 40 times, all the weights, all the, he's just got it on the top of his head. And so I was trying to get him to fill out an entire team. I got him to talk for about 20 minutes, but then he got mad and he quit on me. He said, "There's no way." He said, "I'm gonna get too many angry phone calls.
That's
I'm
true.
gonna get too many people bitching at me." So he's like, "We got to stop." So I wasn't able to get a complete list, but I got enough for a fun story on a stroll down memory lane. And it was interesting to hear, at least to me, who he considered the all-time freaks, because it's not just the biggest names in Miami history. It's some other guys that maybe didn't get a whole lot of recognition.
Give me one, bro. Give us one. You just can't, leave all that meat on the bone and not give us a bite. So give us one.
I'll give you one, and he was a freak. But Alan Bailey, right? Who talks about Alan Bailey anymore? But you remember when he came here from Georgia, 270 pounds, he wanted to play linebacker. And obviously that never happened. But he played 10 years in the league with the Falcons and Chiefs and had a great career. And just some of the numbers, the stuff that he did was kind of eye opening. So good fun read. Camp's been kind of boring so far. Not a lot's been happening though. Action.
You don't get to see all the action. That's the problem. The Dolphin guys get to see everything, and you guys you get to see stretching, and then get the hell out of here.
I mean, yesterday he opened up all of practice, but again, that was one day because he had all the former players there. It was kind of ACC Network was here filming something, so it was kind of a special treat. But in the end, you know how it is. You have to watch several practices to get a real idea, right? Just because the guy's in one spot there for 15 snaps doesn't mean that's where he's really getting a full look, if that's where he's going to be on the field in terms of depth chart, etc. So, but it was fun to watch. I watched some 11 on 11 yesterday. A lot of picks in the secondary, by the way. A lot of interceptions. Guys doing a good job. And
we lost him there. Oh, we dropped. We dropped.
You got me? You here?
Now we got you. Yeah.
Sorry, I had a phone call coming in here at the last minute because we were about to do some interviews and stuff.
Well, don't they know you're busy at this time? What the hell's wrong with those people? Come on.
People don't care. It's automatic. Phone calls no matter what. By the way, I got Adam here. You want me to ask Adam if he's going to play some football?
Yes, ask Adam. Now that we talked about it,
we got you here with Big O. He was just asking me. I know you can't hear him. I got him on the ears. But, he wants you to see if you can try out. You and Jake, your cousin. Try out again.
Yeah, because I'm thinking. You may have
13 maybe, but maybe give me some pointers.
You may have to unplug the headset, but Adam, what you have to do, we want you to break. We want you to be earth-shattering, record stuff here. So since we have a player like your name, what you need to do is replace him. You play. And then you cover yourself at the same time. You write the story about how you played that day. And I think that would be historic right there, Adam.
I mean, he's like 6'2", 6'3" with long hair. I'm like 5'9", maybe 5'10".
You'll kick his ass. You'll kick his ass. We know you. We know you. We know you're the secret weapon out there.
Oh, yeah. Well, of course. Well, don't tell everyone. Now everyone knows.
Secret weapon, man.
There you go. And by the way, welcome aboard, my brother. I've been following you on Twitter. Good work, man.
Appreciate
Good work.
It. Thank you.
You got it. There you go.
All right, brother. So we're going to do some interviews here in a minute, but just appreciate you bringing me on as always. Anything else before we end this?
No, nothing but love. Un abrazo. Okay. We will catch up next week, my friend. You be good out there.
All right, man. Take care.
You got it. Manny Navarro doing his thing in Coral Gables. with our Caneswear Miami Hurricanes report.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
All right. All right. All right. All right. Are we back? Let's see. There we go. All righty. Technical snafu done. No, it wasn't Bruce Beal. No, it wasn't Stephen Ross. No, we weren't ransacked by the monkeys. Somebody played the microwave and unplugged Big O instead. There you go. There you go. Thank you all. Y2K 22 years later. That was a good one, by the way. I really like that one. That was enjoyable watching that. It's the internet, man. Things happen. That's why we love, when somebody tells me, oh, the podcast. No. I always tell them, no, the show is podcasted. Okay. We do live radio. We do live programming every single day. We don't do the podcasting stuff. It is podcasted, but we like live. We like raw. I'd rather make the mistakes. I'd rather be human on the air. You know what I mean? I'd rather everybody else also. No prepared answers, no pre-produced shows, clean this up, make it all sound perfect and all that. No, man. You got to have things like this happen. That's all. There's nothing wrong with that. So we're back. We appreciate it. We thank Manny Navarro, as always, for joining us. Omar Kelly is set to join us here at the bottom of the hour. So we'll have a little fun with Omar. I do want to tell you, our program is proudly brought to you by LiquorSplit.com. Yeah, we talk about Liquor Split all the time, folks. $2.99 flat fee, and get your favorite liquor delivered to your home in Miami. All right, this is Miami's own liquor store. So if you're in Westchester, you're in Little Havana, you're in Overtown, do it. You're in Alapata, you're in Coconut Grove, you're in Wetchettit. Do it, baby. You're in Cocoa Plum. Come on. What are you waiting for? You got to tap that app. Download it, iOS or Android, Liquor Split, and tap that app. Flat fee of $2.99. And listen to this. Your first order, only your first order, we're going to give you 15% off. Use our code BIGO15 and get your favorite vodka, rum, whiskey, beer, smokes, whatever you need, man. Go to liquorsplit.com. Don't go drinking and driving. We don't want you to. And it's a flat fee of $2.99. $1 goes to helping homelessness here in Miami. So great cause, great product, great service. Liquorsplit.com. Use our code BIGO15 and tap that app. We love to tap that app. We also love? We also love to have our Liquor Split matchup of the night. Now,
it's time to tap that app. And no one loves to tap that app like the Big O. Here's the Liquor Split matchup of the night.
All right, yesterday we failed you. Yep. We gave you Philly minus 1.5. And the Marlins, man, behind Mr. Cabrera, they were outstanding. They won 3-0. Mr. Wendell, yeah, he went 2 of 4 in RBI, batting a robust 262. Now, he's actually been a good pickup. But unfortunately, with that loss, we dropped to 26-11-1 in our last 38 games. Still pretty good, 26-11-1. Tonight, the Braves and the Marlins start a set. Jake Odorizzi, who is 4-4 with a 3.76 ERA, and the Marlins' Pablo Lopez, who is coming apart. He is 7-7 with a 3.57 ERA. Atlanta is minus 155 in the money line. The Marlins are plus 125 in the money line. The over and under is 7.5 runs, and Atlanta's minus 1.5 runs in this one. I'm going to go with the Braves here. Pablo Lopez lately, I cannot trust him. And I know that it was maybe the whole trading deadline stuff was affecting him, but he has not been the same pitcher the last couple of outings. And the Braves, well, I just think they're a better team right now. And the Marlins still struggle to score runs. Hell, 3 runs yesterday. That's a miracle. And Cabrera was outstanding. Not sure if we're going to get that out of Pablo today. I'm going to go Jake and the Braves. I'm laying the 1.5. Let's go with our liquor split matchup of the night. Take Atlanta -1.5 runs.
The matchup of the night is brought to you by Liquor Split, Miami's own online liquor store. Liquor Split. Download the Tap That app and get your favorite liquor delivered to you for just $2.99. No risk, no drinking and driving. Tap that app with Liquor Split.
Now we get ready to talk a little football. Omar Kelly, yes, sir, and our EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report now. For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship. What's going on with that? For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents. All right, there we go. For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com. All righty, we are back. Boy, this is one of those days where whatever you fire off doesn't end up going off. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend that is Omar Kelly, and our EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report. There he is. How you feeling, my man? You feeling good?
Horrible.
What happened now?
Something's going on.
What happened? Tua had another great practice?
No, come on. I don't care about that. I was very happy to see him have a good practice. Skylar Thompson, Jesus Lord. I am so excited to see him play an exhibition game, and I hope he gets an extensive run.
Oh, he will. They're not going to play Teddy a ton. They'll probably play Teddy, I bet, a quarter, and then he probably carries the rest.
They didn't practice Teddy yesterday, which I'm assuming maybe because Teddy's going to have to play extensive snaps. I don't know, and I don't know where you stand on this, but it just doesn't make sense to me that you don't get Tua some reps.
You know what I think it is? I know you're going to disagree with me on this.
You don't know what I'm going to disagree with you on.
Well, it's Tua. I think the coach is saying, I'm super happy with everything he's done. He's had a great couple of weeks of training camp. He had a solid 2 days here against Tampa. I've seen enough. I don't need to put him out there against an overzealous backup or third stringer trying to make a name for himself, and I pick up a cheap injury. This kid knows the offense. He's doing his job in the classroom. He's doing his job on the practice field. I like what I see. I've seen enough. And I think, and you know, and I know that what they did the last 2 days is way more productive than any preseason game. So
that's true, and that's fair. But let me ask you this question, and you don't think Tua and Connor Williams need a little bit of work?
I think Connor needs it, and he'll get it. He doesn't need Tua. It doesn't matter who's back there. Just snap the bitch right. That's all. And so if he can do it with Teddy, I believe Connor will play some.
He better play some.
Ron Armstead will not. But Connor was going to play. Huh?
I think Teron Armstead will not play. I'd be shocked if he played at all in the pre. But the rest of the linemen, they need some work. They need a little bit of run. But I personally, and I'm being a nitpicky kind of person, but I don't see the harm in Tua getting 2 series this week, 2 series next week, and then shutting it down, because he's clearly not going to play in the third one.
because I think he gets the extensive play next week. That's probably why. I think he gets a nice chunk next week, and then it's over, and they've seen enough. I just think the injury risk is too high. There's too much on the line in the season for both these guys because the periphery has been so polluted. You know what I mean? Because the people on the outside have tried to change everything from the inside.
Yeah, and you make a good point. If he comes out and he doesn't look incredibly sharp for whatever reason or factors, the negative that you're going to take from it is probably the juice isn't worth the squeeze.
Right.
So, you might have a point. Now, I could see that he's made so much positive forward progress. Why chance any little negative momentum? You have more to lose than you have to gain from getting him work on the field. I could see that. I can, because that's a real tough defensive line.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, I almost had a heart attack yesterday when you were praising Austin Jackson. I'm like,
I'm fair. I
know, but I gotta have fun with it, because not because you were praising him, just the fact that he's made progress, and it's refreshing, and for me, it kind of starts to justify what I talked about the entire season last year, that it was all on the offensive coaching that had failed everybody on that team. I don't blame the players. Now I can blame Solomon Kinley now. You know what I'm saying? Now I know that Solomon Kinley has had good coaching. Okay, now you can't do it. Now I know you can't play. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if Austin's making progress, it's because he has better people around him, that Frank knows what he's doing, that McDaniel knows what he's doing, that Applebaum knows what he's doing, and so he has better people around him, and that's why Connor can lean on a guy that played center, and all of these other young guys are playing a little better, and guess who's not? Solomon Kinley. He's fallen behind. So now that I get a better
his body wasn't even right. His body. Everybody came into camp leaner, stronger. Solomon looks like he's fatter, and
you said that a month ago.
Yeah, I mean,
you said that a month ago.
And the thing is, he might stick around because he's good at pass protection. He's just not helping you anywhere in the run game. And if you do find yourself in a situation where you got this power pig defensive tackle and something happens to Liam or Robert Hunt, and you just need Solomon to hold his ground against this guy,
No, the other guy's playing. I'm playing him. The undrafted
Robert Jones. Kid. Yeah, I mean,
the other kids already made him expendable.
Solomon is very good at being John Jerry, which is basically you're not going to drive him to the quarterback. He's not going to be moved.
Right.
So he's not going to move you, but he's not going to be moved. So there is some potential value there. I just, he falls into the Adam Shaheen category where if it ain't serving you moving forward, you might as well just get rid of it. The Igbinoghene category.
Right. Yeah. And that's one that you would hope it would progress here as season goes on, because the more he plays and the more he screws up, you're supposed to get better. So, that'll be and by the way, I'm looking forward to watching him play a lot tomorrow.
Noah should play 30 snaps a game every single exhibition game. Like, he should not leave the field. Yep. Because if this guy does not improve after you play him 120 snaps in the exhibition season, just move on.
Right. Yeah. That's fair.
Because I cannot tell you, somebody put together, they took a legal film, which is what it's very troubling to me that's happening now. Fans are sitting there and they're recording all the practice and they're able to produce it and put it online. Like, if this keeps up, fans are never going to get to go to training camp ever again. But that's besides the point. But somebody put together a film and a cut up, and it was sent to me yesterday. And I don't know who would do this, because clearly somebody has an agenda against Noah. but it was literally every like horrendous play Noah made during the week's practice. It's probably like a 2-minute video, but like for you to film everything and then put it on and then cut it up and put it out on one video and just show just how bad he played. I didn't share it, but I was just like, damn. I mean, I saw it live, so I wrote like 2 stories on it live because it was so bad. If Noah's on the field, he's clearly going to be picked on and attacked. And that just doesn't benefit anybody on defense.
Well, the challenge when you ask a player to switch positions and it's not natural to them, it becomes a real gamble for you.
He was a first-round pick at the position that he switched to.
Let me explain. Let me finish here on this one. Let me give you a comparison. Sometimes some players are able to make transitions. You know, Carnell Lake and Rod Woodson were great players, and they went from corner to safety, and they were able to do it. You know what I mean? Some guys, Eric Rowe, was a so-so corner at times or mediocre, never a good corner, but he became a much better cover safety and covering tight ends. He found another role, and he was able to make that adjustment.
Yes.
The problem that happens sometimes is you try to make that position change, and you hope the player has the skill set and awareness to be able to make that adjustment. Sometimes the gamble doesn't happen because Ryan Tannehill makes the change from wide receiver to back to quarterback.
Made $100 million in his career. Stop it.
Okay,
Stop it.
I don't care what he made.
Stop it.
Does he have any awareness in the pocket?
He's taken He's taken the Tennessee Titans to the AFC Championship game.
No,
like you know how I feel
Derrick
about
Henry has taken them to the AFC.
Stop it.
Derrick Henry has taken them to the AFC.
No, Ryan Tannehill took them to the AFC Championship game. He beat Miami and earned the number 1 seed.
I will ask you again, and you can lie to me like Stephen Ross if you want. After all these years, does Ryan Tannehill have any pocket awareness at this point?
No, he does not.
Exactly. That's my point. No matter how much you play him, he will never.
Hard enough, I will find you another starting quarterback who has horrendous pocket awareness too.
Who?
If I look hard enough, I will find you one.
No great quarterback has pocket awareness. That's why
I didn't say he was great.
Well,
I didn't say it was great.
Or franchise. No franchise quarterback lacks pocket awareness because you can't be a quarterback. You can't be a franchise quarterback without pocket awareness, my brother.
I saw
That's just the way it is. Russell Wilson, Dan Marino, Aaron Rodgers, they all have eyes in the back of their heads. They see you before you're coming, bro.
I saw the fuss being made of Willis's preseason game. And I in my mind, I just said to myself, like, yeah, it's coming. Which is why Tannehill was like, bump that dude. I ain't helping him.
Right. Exactly. That's my point.
You know what?
No matter.
And you know what?
It happens.
They'll move on. They'll put him on the trading block. The Indianapolis Colts will go sign in. He'll get another $100 million contract.
No. Frank Reich knows quarterbacks. There's no way he signs that guy.
I'm just giving you an example.
I get that, but pick somebody that doesn't know quarterbacks. Don't pick.
You know, Tannehill is quarterback number 22 in the NFL, and he will make another $100 million as quarterback number 22.
I know. I think he's headed for Backupville after this.
Hell no.
Oh yeah. He's headed for Backupville. Look, you saw it last year. Pressure, scatterbrain. No matter what you do, there are some guys. Hey, Connor Williams.
Let's not talk about.
He's got to get that snapping. He's got to get that snapping down. You know what I'm saying? It's a switch for him, and he's got to get that snapping down. Austin Jackson. Maybe Austin Jackson was never a guard. Maybe what he is a tackle.
No. Don't say that. No, he wasn't a damn left tackle. We know that.
Right, but maybe he's a right tackle. My point is, it's too even early for Austin Jackson to even know. But you already know. But what I'm saying is, you already know with Ryan, no matter how much you play him, he'll never have quarterback instincts. So the question is, will Noah Igbinoghene ever develop, because he's a receiver,
Oh my God,
instincts to become a corner? I'm sorry, Omar, that's a thing. Some guys just can't make a position switch because all of a sudden they have to think like that new position.
oh my God.
You know,
His awareness is so bad. It is so bad. And I don't know how you fix that. And I like Noah. He was a man crush player for me. And all I'm doing is sitting there thinking to myself, how wrong I was.
It's not a wrong. It's wrong on the projection because you see the talent and the skill set and you hope you can convert it. But it's up, but the part that you, me, Chris Greer, Marvin Allen, Reggie McKay, what you'll never be able to decipher for any player is what's here. And you won't find out until you actually get the guy. Then when you get the guy, you'll find out.
And he's mentally tough. He came in was mentally tough. And I mean, I would say a lesser player mentally would have quit on himself by now. And I give Noah credit for the fact that he hasn't quit on himself. But as I said earlier, I would play him at least 30 snaps a game in the next 3 preseason games.
Amen.
And pray to God that he stops looking like a dumpster fire.
Right.
And maybe I could use him as a gunner. Like Jesus Lord, like Noah, like, bro, you got like what is going on here?
Hey, listen, the flip side is if Trill does come through, well, then
Trill's better than him. Trill better than him. I don't understand why Trill doesn't.
Well, obviously Trill is better than him right now, but what I'm saying is
Deion Crosson's better than him.
If he becomes like a player for you, well, then you found a way to find another player where you didn't end up getting a player in the first round.
But here's my concern, and I hear where you're coming, and I've said this to you previously.
You got to get a Siler from somewhere. You got to find other players and other parts.
All of 2019 when the team was picking up waiver wire claims and poaching guys. From 2019, all the players that that were my example of you tanking because you shouldn't be claiming guys on Tuesday and starting them on Sunday.
Right.
You know, the only player that actually turned into anything out of that, Zach Sealer.
Sealer, yes. Sealer, yeah. Sealer was that. Nick Needham too. Nick Needham was picked up from the scrap heap right from the get-go, and he
No, I mean,
he's undrafted, bro. He's undrafted in 2019.
But you got him. You got him as an undrafted rookie. I consider the guys that no other team had him. Like it's not like Trill.
You're looking like Trill Williams and Nick Needham.
Yeah. Like no other team had him. Like you said, hey, we're gonna give you this. We're gonna make the best offer to you, and we're gonna bring you here because and it was Josh Boyer who believed in him.
Right.
So
Tanner Connor is that guy now. Robert Jones is that guy also.
Connor, goodness gracious.
And Robert Jones is that guy too, right? That nobody had him.
Absolutely. Robert Jones is your 6th offensive lineman. No question, no debate, no. If something happens
I just want to bring that up because when you're lazy and you just want to say, well, they missed on this draft pick. Okay, but they hit on other ones, but they're also finding street free agents.
Yeah, but
that are helping you.
There hasn't been a season I've covered the Dolphins where they didn't have a street free agent like do something. So
that's what you got to do.
So that's what I expect. But I hear where you're coming from. But I would rather you actually hit on your draft picks early and late, and hit in free agency and hit on undrafted free agents. That's what the Steelers do. That's what the Ravens do. That's what Seattle does. Like, let's get there before I start crowning.
Well, the last 3 years has been that. Overall,
I don't want to. I haven't looked at it, so I can't.
They're hitting more than they're missing. That's for sure. They're hitting a lot more than they did in the past. God.
3 years. Does that include 2020?
Yeah. You can include 2020.
You're going to make me do this? You really going to make me do this?
Hey, all of a sudden, 2 out of the 3 in 2020, and you throw
I'm sorry.
And by the way, Don't forget Raekwon and Brandon Jones in there in 2000.
Okay, you are gonna make me do this. Okay, let's do this.
Yeah. Damn right, I'm gonna make you do this, bitch.
Let's do this. Tua, who I love, over Herbert. Everybody in the NFL will tell you
that's not how you justify it.
Just let me finish. No, everybody in the NFL will tell you.
No. He hasn't won anything yet. So when he wins,
I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you.
Okay.
Everybody, you poll 31 other teams, they'll tell you. You say Tua over Herbert, they'll tell you Dolphins effed up.
Well, that's fine.
Just take your L. Just take your L.
It's not taking.
I would have done it too.
I
would have done it too.
No,
but I still got to take the L.
Omar, that's not how you measure a draft. You don't measure it by other players, my brother.
Can I continue? I knew you were going to get caught in this.
No, you can't continue because
you can't acknowledge that you got to take the L for picking Tua over Herbert.
If Tua's successful, that's all that matters. It doesn't matter what Herbert does.
One looks like he might be a franchise quarterback. One looks like he might be an elite quarterback. You got to take the L.
No,
you got to take the L, Big O.
You can't take anything until the might is gone.
All right. Let's move on. No.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Is there a might behind Joe Burrow?
He just took a team to the Super Bowl.
End of story.
He's a franchise quarterback.
End of story.
He's not an elite quarterback. He's a franchise quarterback.
My point is, end of story. There's no might in front of him.
Okay.
You see how
he might be an elite quarterback.
You see how you didn't even hesitate, because nobody in their right minds after watching Joe Burrow at LSU and in the NFL will say he's not elite and he doesn't have franchise qualities in him. So far, Justin Herbert hasn't won jack shit.
Don't disagree with you on that.
Okay?
But everybody will look at him and say he's elite.
And all I saw from Justin Herbert was that he had way more talent than Tua and won the same amount of games. So until
Probably less.
And again, I don't care about the measurements between the two. You look at the pick and you say, now the way Tua is playing, he's starting to justify his drafting. And if he goes out and balls out this year and becomes your quarterback, the pick is justified. And if Austin Jackson stays at right tackle all year long, the pick is justified. And if Noah is Noah, the pick is unjustified. And that's it. It becomes a successful first round if Tua becomes your starter and Jackson becomes your right tackle. It's not a matter of comparing them to other players.
The rest of the draft. Let's finish with the rest of the draft. Robert Hunt, you take a win.
Stud.
Raekwon Davis.
Stud.
You take a win. Solomon Kinley, you take an L. Jason Strowbridge, you take an L. Curtis Weaver, you take an L. Blake Ferguson, I'm sorry, I'm giving you an L because you shouldn't be drafting the goddamn long snapper. Malcolm Perry, you take an L. You had a treasure chest of draft picks.
You hit 4. You hit 4. Two of your first rounders, your second, and your
We forgot Brandon Jones, which I think the jury's out. I know you like him. You want your W. I can't give you a W. Brandon, I don't think you get this because
ball hawk, bro.
He's not. No, he's not. Which is why he doesn't cover anybody. Brandon is a very limited player, and he busts a lot. Like, you know how many times plays happen and the defensive backs are looking at Brandon like, bro, what the?
He's a baby. He's still learning, but he makes plays.
All right, cool.
He forces turnovers. He gets sacks.
All right,
cool. The football. And by the way, you said ball hawk. You think you're only looking at coverage downfield. I'm talking about he's around the ball.
He's around the ball. He makes things happen. He's not an impactful player. Don't do that. Javon Holland is an impactful player.
Oh no, Javon Holland's a freaking star.
I ain't seen Brandon Jones make a play in 3 weeks, bro. 3 weeks. Don't do that. Don't do that.
You're just terrible.
Javon make a play every other day. Brandon Jones.
He's a first rounder, bro.
Second rounder. But a second rounder. So he's picked 1 round ahead of Brandon Jones. And I'm not dissing Brandon Jones. I like him. I think he's better than Eric Rowe. But for you to think he's a finished product and he's a stud.
Oh no, I'm not his finished product, but I love where he's going. I mean, he has. You're going to tell me he has not improved so far in the first 2 years he's been here?
I see the same player. Makes flash plays, decent in the box, and will F up your secondary.
Fearless.
F it up. Can't cover nobody. Tell me the person he can cover.
No, that is the area he has to improve on, but I like everything else about his game.
If you have busts in the secondary,
terrific blitzer, will get his nose dirty. He looks like the kind of guy you want to develop into a strong
and can't cover nobody. What are we doing?
No, that you see again. You give up on young people too.
I do not give up on young players. I look at what's there and I evaluate it.
Like you give up on them,
Last year's draft, 2020, because you said 3 years. So you want,
no, this fourth year doesn't count. You can't.
So you want to go to 2019? You want me to take that? Because you're taking a lot of L's on that one.
Isn't that his first year as full-time GM? Or is that
no.
When did you when was
time in charge?
What year was it that Gase and
2016 he became a full-time
No. Well, the year that he took over after Gase
2019.
So then it has to be from there on.
Okay. So we go all right, you want to do the 2019 draft. Christian Wilkins.
2019 that was Flo's year, right? There was no
Don't do that. Don't do that.
You have to do that. You have to do that.
Don't do that.
You have to be fair. Yes.
Don't do that.
Be fair.
Flo didn't want Josh Rosen.
Huh?
So, yeah.
Flo didn't want Josh Rosen? Oh, no. I don't know if he wanted him or not. That's a terrible trade. Go ahead.
Okay.
Throw it in there.
Christian Wilkins, even though he is looking like the stud of that defensive tackle draft, is Christian Wilkins a franchise player?
Yes. He's gotten better every year, dude.
He has.
He was the leading tackler of his position last year.
I disagree with you. I don't see a franchise player. Wow, I see a good starter, a good rotational.
He's a hell of a player. He gets better every year. He's a terrific leader.
Offensive coordinators game planning for Christian Wilkins. Thank you. All right, let's move on. Josh Rosen.
Oh, I'm sorry. So he's not the dude from the Rams. He's not Warren Sapp, so he sucks. Okay.
Listen, all I'm saying is,
there's like one of those guys every generation, and you're measuring everybody by him.
Christian's a very good player. Is he drastically better than Zach Sealer?
He's a hell of a player.
Answer the question. Is he drastically better than Zach Sealer?
He's better than Zach Sealer, not drastically better, but he's better than Zach Sealer. But again, the front office is awesome. They find somebody in the first round, and they find somebody in street free agency. I don't care.
You take a W for that. You take a W for that. You're gonna take these 2 L's for Josh Rosen?
And by the way,
Sealer's 2 L's for Josh Rosen?
And I'm taking a win for Sealer and a win for Needham in 19, bitch.
Yeah. I'll give you a win for Preston Williams too, mother.
No, that ain't no win.
Oh, you taking a win. You taking a win for that. Accept your win.
Dude, that was a win for like the first 2 months of 19.
Accept your win. You get it. You get a win.
No, that's not a win. I'm not taking a win.
I'm giving you 2 L's for Josh Rosen.
I'm giving you the loss, and I'm giving you back Canseco. Us Cubans don't want him either. All right, go ahead.
I'm giving you 2 L's for Josh Rosen. I'm giving you an L for Michael Dieter. I know you love Andrew Van Ginkel, so I'll let you have your W.
Come on, stud.
He's just a guy. He's just a guy.
Break out this year. Break out this year.
He break out as a special teamer.
It's a 5th round pick. He's been
break out as a
special
teamer.
5th round pick.
Break out as a special teamer.
Oh, come on. He makes plays. You are cruel, dude.
He is a garbage man. I love that. I love that about him.
I think he's a player, bro. I like him.
Isaiah Prince. You taking an L.
Yeah.
Chandler Cox. You taking an L. Miles Gaskin. I'll give you a W. I don't know if he's going to be around much longer, but
he's been a good pick for him. Well,
he's been a starter for 2 years.
Yeah, he'll be in this league. Somebody will pick him up.
his salary is just too big for what he's contributing. He's like, I think he's the second highest paid back because he's got playing time incentives and like $3.5 million for Myles Gaskin. But what I like about Myles is he does everything at a higher level. So blocks at a higher level.
Nice, solid pick for a 7th rounder, bro. Solid.
Yeah, no. But overall, 2019 draft is quite disappointing.
Well, no, because you also had to add Nick Needham in there. You have to add Steeler in there.
I mean, your rookie class is respectable. Your draft class is disappointing. You have 2 players in it.
You can't compartmentalize things. You got to throw you said
all right.
Your decisions in drafting and signing and trading and all that combined overall, I think they've done a really good job.
C performance in 2019. I'll give you a C+ performance in 2020 because you had a treasure chest of resources and you squandered a lot of it.
No, now if the franchise quarterback hits, that alone becomes a great draft.
In 2021, you get an A because you got 3 dogs. 3 dogs. Yeah. In that draft class. And that's what you need to continue to recreate. And I'll even give you a victory in 2022 because Tyreek is better than anything you could have drafted in the first 3 rounds because I've never seen anybody like him ever.
Well, we flushed out Flo, so now we can go get Tyreek. That was good, bro. You flushed out Flo. Flo didn't even want help from Eric Flowers. Well, you think he would have wanted help from Teron Armstead? No, I mean, Flo would have been, we would have been fine. By the way, can you tell me about Larnell Coleman? What the hell got into him? All of a sudden he can block? What happened there?
You know what? He had a good day. He had a good day yesterday.
I've never heard that with Larnell Coleman and good day have never been in the same sentence.
You're correct.
Okay.
And props to him. At some point, I thought he was the worst offensive lineman last year. Yeah. And I watched him.
He looked as bad as Isaiah Prince.
Huh?
He looked as bad as Isaiah Prince.
Nah, Isaiah Prince looked better than him. Like, Isaiah Prince got waived and went on to become a starter in the NFL.
That's actually true. He did not a good starter.
Not a good starter, but he was one.
Yeah.
Coleman.
I think wasn't it for the Bengals?
Cincinnati Bengals, yeah.
Started
on their Super Bowl team.
Yeah.
But Larnell Coleman, and that's one thing. Let me say this because people who actually follow me and pay attention, they know I am an honest person. After the first week of camp, people asked me, Skylar Thompson gonna make this team, and I was like, no, not sponge worthy.
I told you I like him. Him.
Just didn't see it. Just didn't see it. Practice squad guy. Develop him, see what happens, see where it goes. Just another Reed Sinnett, Brandon Doty, just a guy who throws balls in practice. Okay?
Oh, he's more arm-wise, he's more gifted than both those guys.
Yeah, he's all right.
And Doty and Reed Sinnett,
but no, he's got moxie. Week two, dude was like, okay, you think I'm not sponge worthy? All right, let me show you. Killed it all week.
Yeah.
Then we get to the 3rd week, joint practices. I didn't watch the offense the first day because you had to pick. You couldn't watch both. So I watched the defense and then I watched the offense yesterday. I watched the defense the first day, saw Miami's defense really force Brady into retirement. Brady was just very frustrated, very something like you could tell something was going on. He was just not like feeling it. He's like, nah, I want to do this. Then yesterday I watched the offense. Skylar Thompson, bro, I am so excited to see him. I am like going to be grabbing my popcorn to watch him play on Saturday because he just makes things happen. It's
going to become a problem, Omar.
No, it's not going to become a problem.
Because you will no longer be able to stash him.
No. He's got to make your 53 now at this point.
That's my point. And by the way, if he develops, because what I was told in the building is they viewed him as a backup quarterback. So if they could hide him on the practice squad, develop him this year, next year they lose Teddy, they can elevate him and use him wildcat and other things because he does have some athleticism.
He don't got no athleticism, bro. Goddamn wildcat.
Yeah, he does enough for wildcat stuff. But anyway, the point is now he has outplayed the expectations to a point that you may not be able to stash him.
Oh, you won't
keep and now listen to this. You might be able to trade Teddy if he continues to progress by the deadline. If somebody needs a quarterback to make up for the boneheads losing a couple of your picks down the line, you might be able to get a late round pick for Teddy for some desperate team that needs a little help at quarterback.
Man, boneheads losing picks. I love how you paint that illustration.
They are. I mean, what do you want me to do? By the way, how tight are you with Jennifer Ross?
Bro, I ain't covering that team no more, so I don't have to worry about it.
By the way, Dougie Fresh wants to ask you, this is the final thing. We'll wrap it up this. Omar, from your 1st and 10, since this is the last day, what Dolphin player, since you were on the beat, would you want to have your back in a bar fight?
Oh, it's got to be Mike Pouncey.
Okay, Mike Pouncey.
I mean, I know Mike Pouncey ride or die. So that's a good question. I totally forgot about 1st and 10. Yes, that is my traditional 1st and 10 question. I think Mike Pouncey was the clubhouse leader, and Mike Pouncey will fight somebody for you. No question about it. No doubt about it. And he's slim and trim, looks like a linebacker now. Like I'm always proud of Mike. I'm always proud of Mike. And I thought about Mike earlier this week when I was thinking like,
oh, we lost. Oh, we lost him. We lost the feed. It's probably what it is. There we go. All right, we got you there.
Sorry,
we got you there.
About
Tell him not to call during our damn segment.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I know that you're not working on anything at the Sun Sentinel now. So
no, I actually am.
Oh, you are.
Monday we'll do my final X's and Omar at noon.
Okay.
I'm writing 10 things that you need to look for in the exhibition game. Guys aren't playing, but here's what you need to look for. Channing Tindall, like the light bulb ain't coming on yet, bro. So just watch him play. Check out his special teams role if you want to see your highest draft pick. Hunter Long, guys like that. Hunter progress, and he's making progress. I told you Monday is final episode of X's and Omar at noon. And then I'm gonna write something from the scrimmage. I mean the game. But other than that, yeah, man, that's it. And then straight time athlete. I don't know who is upcoming this next Monday, but I can tell you that I will be on. I think I got to go to the hospital now, but I don't know if I'll ever be let out. I should be on radio.
Why are you going to the hospital? You're not going to be let out. What the hell's happened?
Right now I'm having a prostate issue, and there's no urologist that will see me. And basically, to figure out what the hell is going on, I got to go to the emergency room.
Okay. All right. That might be a little too much information, but that's all right. Let's hope you're good, and let's hope the prostate works itself out.
I'm at that age.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Scary stuff.
We're at older stages, so don't worry about it. We can relate.
Every man in his 40s can relate right now. So
Yeah. No, we all can relate with you. 4 or 5 trips to the bathroom in the middle of the night. We can all relate with you.
Oh man.
It is. All right. Hang in there, brother. We'll catch up next week. Enjoy the game tomorrow, my friend. I appreciate you.
All right. Talk to you later.
You got it. Omar Kelly and our EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins prostate report.
You You've been listening to the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins Report with Omar Kelly. For additions, home remodeling, or custom work, call Eric at 305-433-4843. EJDconstruction.com is the custom home builder and general contractor you can trust. 305-433-4843. The Big O Radio Show is looking for partners to join our growing platform. If your business is ready to reach an audience that starts in Florida, crosses the nation while expanding internationally, this is the program that provides that vehicle. The Big O Radio Show is ready to broadcast live anywhere in the world to represent your event or product. To reach out by phone, 786-754-4664. That's 786-754-4664. Or email bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. Help us grow as we provide the content and personal connection corporate entities will never achieve.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Welcome to Red Light Therapy, a revolutionary technology perfected by NASA to aid in muscle strengthening and recovery. Red and infrared light has the capacity to penetrate deep into the cell's mitochondria, potentially leading to increased energy, faster recovery, and the optimal performance your body demands. Evolve your training and step into the new era of muscle recovery. Red Recover.
Why is it that you get locked out in the worst moments of your life?
Where are my car keys? Man, I can't find my house keys.
In those frustrating moments, you need a locksmith you can count on. A. Lenny Locksmiths in South Florida, from Miami to Port St. Lucie. In Central Florida, A. Lenny locks it down in Orlando and Tampa Bay. Lockouts or lock changes for home or business. Car key replacements and programming all model cars. 24-hour service. Call them at 855-869-5625. Go to the website at alennylocksmith.com.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full-service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house.
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV.
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house. Get out of the house.
Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
Why is it that you get locked out in the worst moments of your life?
Where are my car keys? Man, I can't find my house keys.
In those frustrating moments, you need a locksmith you can count on. A. Lenny Locksmiths in South Florida, from Miami to Port St. Lucie. In Central Florida, A. Lenny locks it down in Orlando and Tampa Bay. Lockouts or lock changes for home or business. Car key replacements and programming all model cars. 24-hour service. Call them at 855-869-5625. Go to the website at alennylocksmith.com.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646. Sports Grill on Bird Road, Miami Lakes, and their newest location in Doral is now hiring. If you're looking to join a great company and South Florida institution, give them a ring or drop an email. Sports Grill is hiring all kinds of positions, from hostess to servers, bartenders, or join the kitchen staff to craft some great food for their amazing customers. Please send your resume to m.cruz@sportsgrillmiami.com or call 305-219-5726. That's 305-219-5726. Sports Grill. Good food, good drink, good friends. The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Welcome back to beautiful, of course, Craig Zinn's Acura Pembroke Pines, the finest dealership in the business. Yeah, the Miami Dolphins, by the way, have made an announcement. They are excited to announce their new partnership with Bally Sports Florida that brings NFL programming to the regional sports network this season. So I would imagine that this is like a Finn's Insider. Oh, Travis is going to do his show. Oh, you mean the Drive Time podcast and like that?
The Drive Time podcast and things like that will probably end up moving. Maybe
cool.
Some of their other.
Good.
I'm guessing, because it definitely ain't NFL related. It's Dolphins related.
Yeah, I was thinking like
programming.
Insider programs like they do on Channel 4.
Coaches show.
Yeah, that
or
kind
other
of stuff.
coaches show and things like that.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. I don't even think they'll be smart enough to put Travis on, to be quite honest. You know, let's put the fluff stuff. Let's not put like the high IQ stuff, which Travis does. But we'll see. We'll see. Does Omar need to move to do I Am Athlete? No. Let's see. I know Omar is leaving, but is he okay? Sounds like, hopefully it's not anything serious. Let's hope so. I don't want to, it's personal stuff. Big O, you and Omar continue having conversations even after he leaves the Sun Sentinel. It's always fun watching you two talk. Well, that's the idea, man. Have some fun. You're like at a bar. You're going at it. You're friends. You agree, you disagree, you slam each other, you make fun of each other. But see, now, here's the important part about all of this. You have to be a good sport about it, and Omar is a phenomenal sport about it also. He gets it. We have some fun with it. He understands I'm going to bust his balls for certain things and all that because we got to have some fun with it. And we're going to, we're wholeheartedly going to disagree on things. Okay, whether it's Brandon Jones or Andrew Van Ginkel, we are going to disagree on that. Right? I love Andrew Van Ginkel, and I'm a Brandon Jones fan. I think those are two good picks. I love what I've seen from those young men and how they're growing into players for the Dolphins, and I think they're going to get better and better. In fact, I'm expecting a breakout season from both those guys. I think both of those guys are going to be playmakers for this team overall. And let's talk a little bit about the game tomorrow and some of the things that I definitely want to look forward to. And O-line play is obvious. Look, Tua's not going to play, but it's important that Connor Williams plays in a game-like situation and the snapping is clean. Austin Jackson, here's a guy that I'm excited to see, right? And I want to see him make progress because Lord knows we all need to see the Dolphins develop an offensive line. Liam Eichenberg, I want to see what kind of progress he's making. I don't need to see Teron Armstead. He can be hanging out on the sidelines, being the slick dude that he is. I'm fine with that. And then there's Robert Jones, and you want to start seeing some of the backup guys. Is Greg Little making any progress? Larno Coleman all of a sudden is helping out. Can he actually become a serviceable guy? Can he become your swing tackle guy? I don't know. These are things that I want to find out about. Solomon Kinley has looked terrible. Okay. Is he a terrible practice player that sometimes when the game comes on, he can play? We'll find out. Or is Solomon Kinley headed for Cutville because he's been bad in practice and he's going to be bad tomorrow night in the game? I don't know. We're going to find out. But I want to check out the O-line. I think it's really important to see what the O-line is doing, what Connor Williams is doing. And without Armstead, you see other linemen there, so you get a feel. It's the same thing in the secondary. The secondary, what do I want to see? I want to see a lot of Iggy. I want to see a lot of Trill. And this Keon Crossan guy, if he's actually any good, then let's have at it. I don't, Byron Jones is out anyways, but I don't need to see him. Brother, go relax. Go take off the entire preseason. I don't need to see you in any of these games. If they want to play you next week for a series just to kind of get your feet, fine, whatever, but I don't need to see X. But I do want to see all the other corners. I want to see some of the backup safeties to see what you have behind Javon Holland. Do I really need to see Javon Holland? No, I've gotten to the point where I'm really comfortable with Javon Holland. So in a game that you would say, because the average fan, see, the people that are watching this show, the people that are going to download this show, you're hardcore football fans. Okay? On average, you're high IQ football fans. You're the kind of people that would listen to Travis Wingfield. But my point is that you understand that there's more to the game tomorrow than just watching Tua and Tyreek and Teron Armstead. Because it's not really about that if you're a smart football fan. It's about the things I just talked about. It's about finding out, well, wait a minute. We know Tyreek and Waddle. I don't need to see those guys. But, man, I've been intrigued by Eric Ezukama. What's he bringing to the table? That's what I want to find out about. Preston Williams, the pressure is on you, young man. What can you do out there? You are in your last string here. Right now it looks like the top 6 receivers are kind of locked up with the 2 San Francisco kids being the last guys in Sherfield and Craycraft. They look like the 5 and 6 with Ezukama 4, and obviously you got Sed, you got Tyreek, and you got Waddle as your top 3. So the question is, what else is out there? Who is left? Can Braylon Sanders do something who has, opened some eyes at times? Is there a practice squad worthy wide receiver? Because those of us that are hardcore, that's what we're looking at. Okay, is it Braylon Sanders? Can he help out on special teams also? So we know that he either is a receiver or a two-way player that can be elevated. That's what we're looking for. Tight ends. Well, you kind of know that Adam Shaheen is pretty much done after getting traded, and now the trade was nixed. They don't have space for him. But what is Ethan Carter doing? What is Tanner Connor doing? These are guys now that are battling for that last spot. Hunter Long, what kind of progress? He's a draft pick. So he's probably got the benefit of the doubt for one more year, but has he made any progress? How are they using Gesicki? I don't expect Gesicki to play much, but I want to see how he's a part of the running game if they use him early on here. And he got his nose dirty in practice the last couple of days that people were like noticing, like, yo, Gesicki's blocking. I want to see. Can they make him block? I know who Teddy Bridgewater is. I know I'm going to see him probably for a quarter and a half or something tomorrow, but that's not going to answer any questions for me. I know who he is. He's already proven what he is already. But Skylar Thompson, us hardcore Dolphin fans, we're intrigued as hell by Skylar Thompson. The average, the casual Dolphin fan, they're not following Skylar Thompson. They don't know jack shit. But you and I, we follow this. And we're wondering, whoa, this kid's intriguing. He's got talent. I want to see him for a couple quarters. I want to see what he does. Maybe he flops. Maybe he struggles. Or maybe he continues to shine and show us like, whoa, they found somebody here. Which maybe also creates trade value for Teddy Bridgewater, and you can move him somewhere for a draft pick. Now that your owners cost you two draft picks. You were trying to get something back for Shaheen to move up and make it a little better for your draft. Maybe Teddy Bridgewater will do it because Skylar Thompson's too good that you can't even hide him on the practice squad. Nice play, nice problem to have. There's a bunch of things to watch tomorrow. Anybody that tells you that tomorrow's game is meaningless, that's a bunch of crap. Yeah, it's meaningless in the win column, in the loss column. The score is meaningless, but the effort, the execution, who's performing, incredibly important for depth on this team. Incredibly important to find out about some of the starters, like the O-line on this team. Hey, listen, if Skylar continues to develop, that allows you to trade Teddy for a draft pick later on in the season. That's an enormous luxury to be able to, if you're able to pull that off. If you see Tua's comfortable, not struggling reading defenses or anything like that, or understanding things, and Teddy doesn't need Teddy's help that much, then maybe he's this, you can make the trade. Now, if he's relying on Teddy a lot, that Teddy's helping him see some things that he normally doesn't see, maybe they think it's too invaluable, i.e. Strock to Marino. And you never know. Sometimes that happens. The backup quarterback is very important because it's an extra set of eyes for the starter. And you feel like you've got to keep that around. I don't know. I don't know how it's going to play out. I know Tua's smart enough that once he picks things up, I think he'll be fine. So I'm not really worried about that. So, a lot of things to watch out in this game. And anybody that tells you that, this is a meaningless game or anything like that, yeah, in general. But if you really look at it, there's a lot of things that you can look at in this game tomorrow night that will answer a lot of questions, hopefully, for you. Or will start to answer some questions. That's better. That's the better way to phrase it. I mean, Larnell Coleman got my interest because, listen, any development along the line is so important for this team. They haven't had a good offensive line in decades. I mean, they had their moments with the Unicorns, but it really wasn't a great offensive line. They haven't had one in forever. And, God, it would be great to develop an offensive line and some depth and coaches that know how to develop them and alternate them and things like that. It would be a beautiful thing. Be a lot of fun, I got to say. If you want to get in on the Welt and Rayom text line, That's 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056 if you want to get in on the Welt and Rayom text line. Don't forget, Nature Bee is for me, folks. And right now, if you buy 2 months, you can get the third month free, and you can get free shipping. Yeah, go to naturebee.com, use our code Big O, and I tell you about the power of pollen every day because I rarely ever get a cold, and that's my favorite part about it. It boosts the hell out of my immune system. That's what it's all about, boosting your immune system. Get the damn fan to work. Anyway, boosting my immune system. I rarely ever get a cold. But listen, stronger nails, fuller hair. You're just going to love all the benefits from it. It supports great nutrition. Those creaky bones and joints, that'll help out too. Nature Bee helps out in so many ways. Energy, a lot of people, they get that 2, 3 p.m. They start to wear out. With Nature Bee, you're powering through the entire day. And what I love about it is it's all natural. So my daughter's been taking it since she was a child. I've been taking it for 20 years. So your kids can take it. Adults can take it. It's all natural. No medication. Not created in a lab. No, it comes from clean green New Zealand, right from Mother Nature, right from beautiful Earth, man. That's why you can order it right there. 2 months. Get the third month for free. So you buy 2 months, you get the third month for free and free shipping. And the only way to do that is by using our code Big O. Go to naturebee.com. All right. Let's see. Give Cam a heads up, bro. See if he's ready to rock and roll with us here in this part of the program. What do we got going on in crypto? Bitcoin is back over 24,000. Remember I told you it was like at 23,900. It's at 24,159. So it is holding strong. And as I told you guys, I think we've got to wait till the end of the month to feel good that this rally is going. But something tells me that we are on a rally now. And I thought we were going to be a few more months of buying time and all that stuff and a great buying zone, but it's going up. When I saw that BlackRock made their move for Bitcoin, that's it, dude. Largest asset manager in the world is now, heavily into Bitcoin. That's all you need to know. Matthew Childress on Twitter says, it makes sense what Big O said on how the NFL, both Ross and Beal, to get out of the NFL, explains recent events. NFL can't publicly admit cheating, so Miami gets hit hard for tampering. A new ownership has to happen. Bring on Jennifer and lady owner. Exactly. No doubt that is the case. Wow, that guy is fun to watch. Easy decision for Titans if he keeps this up. Yeah, Malik. Yeah. I mean, the funny part is to think that Ryan Tannehill can be the guy. You know what I'm saying? That's the funny part about it. Somebody's sending me the doctor who failed Adam Shaheen's physical, and it's a picture of Flo in a doctor's uniform. Oh, I love it. Huh? Okay. All right. We are going to get Cameron Wolf in a minute, and we'll have a little fun with Cam. Don't forget, we're out here at Craig Zinn's, Acura Pembroke Pines, 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 and Pines. And we've got always some great deals going on right now. We tell you about it all the time. They've been a proud sponsor of our program now for 13 years, man. 13 years, 12 straight years now, the number one volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. The 2022 technology package TLX is out, $449 a month. The 2023, they're rolling in now. We've got the Integra, $369 a month. The 2023 Acura MDX, $1,000 loyalty savings. And the 2022 RDX, also $1,000 off. loyalty savings. So come on out here and check it out at 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75. I-75 in Pines, finest dealership in the business, baby. That is Craig Zinn's Acura, Pembroke Pines. Big O, what were those 2 coins you talked about yesterday? Yeah. Now, remember, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a guy that loves crypto. The first one was INJ. If you want to look it up, it's called Injective Protocol. Okay? You can check it out there. It's a blockchain available for anybody to use. It makes it completely decentralized. It does not matter if you are a small-time investor or a big-time corporation. Injective Protocol offers the same level of influence and power to everybody. The blockchain allows you to trade a vast array of derivatives, CFDs, and other forms of assets. And Injective Protocol, it aims to solve problems in the financial world by employing blockchain technology. Decentralized nature, INJ, allows investors to participate in a genuinely decentralized finance, DeFi organization. Now, I got in it at $150. It's over $2 now, so it's gone up. Don't know how much more it's going to go up. You know what I mean? So I don't want to tell you. The other one that I got, and this one's a little bit of a longer name, and the name is Alethea Artificial Liquid Intelligence Token. And if you want to look for the acronym for it is ALI. Okay. Now, this one's really interesting. This one's under 2 pennies. So I loaded up a little bit on this one, a lot more than the other one, because it's a lot harder to load up on something that is already worth $1.50. You know what I'm saying? You get 100 shares, you're already spending $150. You know what I'm saying? So it's not an easy thing. But what this does, it's a decentralized protocol to create intelligence metaverse inhabited by interactive intelligence. In other words, you're going to bring artificial intelligence to your NFTs. So your NFTs will be able to move and talk and react and things like that. And I think that is something that's going to be enormous in the future, because I tell people this all the time. You're going to carry your NFTs in your phones, and it's going to be in your digital wallets, right? But eventually, you're going to have digital frames in your home where you're going to move your NFTs to be presented there. They're not held there. They're held in your vault, in your digital vault, but the copy of it will be on your digital frame. The next level of it is your favorite things that you put on NFTs. You're going to end up sending movies and things like that to this company. And it might be somebody you love, your father, mother, a dog, whatever. And you have video of it. You're going to send it to them, and they're going to make an NFT of it, and it's going to be living. So it'll be a picture frame that will live. And it'll show your favorite dog that you had filmed running around somewhere, and that's going to be the permanent NFT. So instead of a still picture of your favorite dog that passed away, it'll be an NFT moving of your favorite dog that you created that video. You had a video of it, and you turned it into an NFT. That's what this company does. And I can see people doing that for their favorite teams and players and loved ones and pets. And so for me, that is a very interesting one. AI into your NFTs, artificial intelligence into non-fungible tokens. Whew. When we talk about the metaverse, that's the metaverse right there, right? Another level of the metaverse coming in for folks. So there you go. Those are the 2 coins I talked about. All right. Uber Beaner says, I've got 6 shares of BlackRock. Well, you know, dummy. All right, let's do it. Cameron Wolf, the Wolf Pack will get unleashed.
We unleash the Wolf Pack as we get the latest in the NFL and the Miami Dolphins with our KSDT CPA Pro Football Report with NFL Network insider Cameron Wolf. KSDT is one of South Florida's largest and one of the country's fastest growing accounting firms. KSD TCPA is a full-service firm that also excels in crypto. Visit them at ksdtcpa.com or call 305-670-3370. Here's NFL Insider Cameron Wolf.
There he is, Cameron Wolf. He is ready to rock and roll with us like he does twice a week in our KSDT CPA Miami Dolphins report. And, Cam, first of all, good afternoon, sir. Thank you for joining us as always.
Yes, sir.
I was talking with Omar earlier, and, the challenge of moving a player into a different position at times, it becomes something of a challenge. Some guys can make the transition, and some guys can't make the transition. And instincts, awareness, it comes with all types of, positions in sports. Hell, in life too, by the way. You got to have some instincts too in life also. Got to have a feel for what you do also in life. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of goes in all walks of life. And we're watching, a guy like Noah Igbinoghene, who was a wide receiver converted to corner.
Yep.
And while we're watching Trill Williams, who's a natural corner, climb over him on the depth chart, and then Keon Crossan is also doing some stuff on his own to open some eyes. And obviously Noah continues in his struggles. And, maybe now with playing time over the next couple of weeks, hopefully he can show some light and some production and some improvement like we're watching from some other players, especially on the offensive line. But you covered a guy that, and it shows that sometimes you can make a position switch. You're Carnell Lake, you're Rod Woodson, you're playing corner. They can switch you to safety. You're Eric Rowe. You're not really a great corner, but they find a role for you at safety and you excel at it. And you're able to make that move at times, and it happens. Well, you covered a guy, and last year with 3 interceptions in a key game, and he was the most sacked quarterback in the NFL. No matter how many times you will continue to play Ryan Tannehill, he will not develop the instincts that a quarterback needs back there in the pocket. So when you look at Noah, how do you look at players like that? Because you've seen it, you've covered it. The players that have to struggle to develop the natural instincts that go with playing a new position.
Yeah, I think the first thing I thought of when you said that is that a lot of times you see in scouting, scouts and executives try to make athletes football players. And I think that's simply the case with Noah. I mean, sometimes in a very small spectrum of situations it works, but football is a football. Like no matter how fast and strong, you have to know how to play the game. You have to have the natural ball skills. You have to have the knack of knowing what's going on. So it's hard to teach someone who hasn't come up from that background extensively the game. Now, like I said, there are success stories. Jordan Mailata, who's the left tackle for the Philadelphia Eagles. Guy played rugby his whole life and switched over to football literally when he got drafted in the NFL. That was the first time he played football, which is why it's such an incredible story. But he was a 7th round pick. They were using him as a project. They drafted Noah in the 1st round. And so you don't spend project picks in the 1st round. And that's sort of what I've looked at for Noah. He's always been a project, and sometimes projects don't work. Sometimes you can do all you can. The guy can work hard. Like he works hard. It's not like you could say, the dude's slacking off. He doesn't really want it. He works hard. He wants to be good, but sometimes it just does not click. And so I just, watching him this training camp, I told you this earlier in the process. I remember we had these conversations. You were like, oh, maybe he needs more time. And I'm like, maybe, but I think the reality is if you've seen a lot of him in practice, you know what he is at this point. And so we've seen enough of him in this season that I'm just not confident that you're going to be able to get any type of contribution from him this season. Now, we got preseason games. I'm with you. I think you send him out there, play as many snaps as possible. And, maybe sometimes the games help him click it. But I think that about a week ago, when I watched him in training camp, I decided that Trill Williams is your 4th best corner on this team.
Yeah.
And is Noah even your 5th best corner? I don't know.
No.
I just
Oh,
I think if Noah wasn't a first round pick, I think we'd be talking about, is this guy going to make the team? And so that's just the reality of the situation.
yeah, no, he's got a really long way to go,
Yeah.
unfortunately. And you remember Randall L came out as a quarterback out of Indiana, and then turned himself into a really good little wide receiver. And it's just one of those things, man. It's not an easy thing to ask a player to adjust. And a lot of times it's what you said. It's not a lack of work ethic or trying or anything like that, because most of them are working hard and trying to make that position switch, but it's a real challenge. Now, what's nice to hear, and I know you've been a little bit away the last couple of days because they've had you traveling around in the NFL Network, but one of my arguments last year, from day one of last year, was that I was not satisfied with the offensive staff. I thought the offensive staff is what failed the offense.
Right.
And I was one of those guys that I'm dead set that there's no way they swung and missed on all 5 linemen. And now we're starting to see, well, Hunt was all right last year, but we're watching like Austin Jackson have good moments now. Hell, yesterday, Larnell Coleman, who you've never even said anything positive next to the words Larnell Coleman.
Right.
And yet he went and won all 3 of his one-on-one battles, which you're like, yo, who's that guy? That kind of stuff.
By the way, Larnell Coleman may be the swing tackle. Like,
yeah,
if you get an injury to Austin Jackson or to Teron Armstead, it may be Larnell Coleman the first one to get in. I mean, I asked a couple reporters this the other day, like, who else is their swing tackle? Greg Little is the only other option. And I guess he was on the roster last year, but I haven't really seen much for him. That's probably a spot maybe they look at waiver wires, but everybody's looking at O-line. So maybe Larnell Coleman, who was a 7th round pick for you a year ago, is your one snap away from starting player. So that, his reps are important.
Well, let me tell you, if all of a sudden we're watching Austin Jackson start to play well and Larnell Coleman is actually showing you something, my Lord, coaching was definitely the problem here. Right?
Yeah, I mean, so I do want to see the O-line in game action. There has been some pleasant revelations, but I told you before, that's the position I'm hesitant on. So I want to see a little bit more. I want to see a little bit more time. But Austin Jackson has not been embarrassed in Tampa. He was not embarrassed in Tampa. He's not been embarrassed in camp from what I saw. And that's a different vibe from what, it's been really the last year. And so the less you hear about offensive linemen, that means they're typically doing their job. So, I think that this is a positive. Coaching obviously has a good deal to do with that. And, we're eager to see how it goes. I will say the one thing that I do want to see a little better, I haven't seen a lot of huge run blocking holes created. They haven't been able to pop those consistently. They haven't done it in Tampa, which, it is what it is. Tampa's probably the best run defense team in the league. So nobody runs against them. But I do want to see them open up holes consistently. But in pass pro, they've definitely looked better than I expected.
Yeah. And listen, again, they're not showing much. And because of misdirection, a lot of things that they do, you're not going to see that kind of stuff until the regular season comes out. So they're going to keep it kind of vanilla overall, and they're not really going to end up showing much. That you can tell. Now, let me get to a little bit of the you can sell me the bullshit, but I'm really not going to buy it. And it kind of kept going here. When the suspensions were handed down and the fines and the draft picks, I said right from the get-go, they got busted for tanking, but the NFL, of course, cannot go after them or the Browns or anybody else for tanking because they're tied to all kinds of, gambling sites and all that, and it would not be a good look for them. So they went hard against them in the draft picks and the suspensions. Now, the follow-up now, Stephen Ross is going to step down, and Bruce Beal is no longer taking over. And from the bullshit department, so the guy that was waiting to take over, the guy that was trying to get Tom Brady in here because he's dying to win, is all of a sudden going to just walk away and not be the owner of the team, which I kind of get the feeling that he always really wanted to be the owner of the team. And now that Jennifer Ross is going to take over, well, it just reminds me of what's going on. Yeah, Dan Snyder, you can't be there. So now you got to put your wife in place. I just get the feeling that the NFL also told Stephen Ross and Bruce Beal, we'll never find out, but I get the feeling they told them to go away. Your thoughts on that?
So I don't think Stephen Ross is stepping down. I think he's going to continue to own the team once he gets back from suspension.
Yeah, but his daughter takes over, is what she.
Yeah, whenever he can't, own the team anymore, decides to pass it on to her. I've actually never met Jennifer Ross. This is literally the first time. Honestly, maybe I'm not doing enough homework as a reporter.
I didn't even know. I'm with you.
I've heard
no idea he had a child. Yeah.
So it definitely came as a surprise to me. I think it came as a surprise for a lot of people because Bruce Beal was already voted upon 4 or 5 years ago with NFL owners, approved as the owner in waiting. So it's not like this was like eventually we'll figure it out. No, like this was a in paper and writing plan. And so I saw the report. I don't really have much to add on like the relationship between Ross and Beal. Obviously, that report saying that their relationship soured at some point.
You think?
Yeah. So obviously they have this case going on. I'm with you. I think that one thing people lost in the shuffle of the Ross and the Dolphins and the tanking stuff, because Ross came out so strong and said, "Oh, we're vindicated." That's not what the investigation said. The investigation said that Ross was making these statements, and he made them to Flores, he made them to Garfinkel and some other people in the building. They just couldn't prove that he had any intention to follow through. So they said that he was saying it in jest. And so
I'll go with they didn't want to publicly prove it. I'll go with that, my friend, because there's DraftKings, there's MGM, there's Caesars. There's a lot of people out there that you don't want to piss off. So, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that whole element, I don't think you just sweep that under the rug for sure. I think that's definitely prevalent, even in the weeks and months ahead as we go through and figure out what's going to happen with Brian Flores's legal case. But I do think that, it's interesting, particularly because my first thought when I heard that Bruce Beal was going to be the owner in waiting 4 or 5 years ago is why didn't Stephen Ross pass it down in his family? Because generally you got rich white dudes, they pass the buck along. That's just kind of the way it works, not only in football and in industries in life.
Everywhere.
You just see it cycling down. And so I don't know if there was a change of mindset of Bruce or if it was Jennifer's help convince him he can run it or both. I don't know what it is, but regardless, I think that, this is a very precarious time of ownership for Stephen Ross because really over the last 3 or 4 years, because if you remember, he had the situation with Kenny Stills and the Jay-Z element of things. He's got,
and let me tell you something. They did the right thing by kicking Bruce Beal's ass out because it would have been a terrible look that, whenever he does take over, he's part of the reason why you lost a first and a third and he was cheating. It would be a terrible, terrible look. And I think the NFL realized that and said, guys, we have no choice. We have to wipe our hands with you. We cannot have you guys. And then the thought that people might think you're going to tank again. And see, here's the problem with Stephen Ross also has to understand this. And I know that, I don't want to put you in a difficult position, but I'll say what I have to say because I always do that. And I don't care and I don't worry about this. But Stephen Ross no longer has credibility because you already did this with Harbaugh in the middle of the night. So don't tell us that you don't tamper and don't tell us that you don't cheat and all of that because you're a multi-time offender. And it's clear. And so that's where Stephen Ross, when he goes out there and says, oh, the NFL vindicated us. No, they didn't, dude. They never vindicated you. Stop. You got your ass saved, but really you told Flo that. Flo is right on all of this. You did want to tank, and he chose not to at that time. But please don't tell me that it's a lie because all you've done is, lie behind the scenes. And that's the sad part for Stephen Ross.
So I can tell you for covering that 2019 Dolphins team, that whether it's the front office or whatever, their decision makings was not a team that was trying to win. So you can call it whatever you want to do.
Right.
But to me, that was a team that was actively trying to get a better draft position.
But not the coach. But not the coach.
Right.
The players and the coach never, ever played to tank.
Correct.
Ever. the
Correct.
front office and the ownership, they tried to set it up to say, here, it's obvious. Here's Josh Rosen. What are you going to do?
Don't remind me of the Josh Rosen era. I'm trying to forget that season from my memory. But one last thing on Bruce Beal.
By the way, it's going on in Seattle. Once you tell me you're starting Geno Smith, you're basically doing Josh Rosen.
Right. The other thing, like just briefly on the Bruce Beal deal, the owners would have had it to vote again to approve him as the owner. When eventually that would have happened, he would have still needed 24 of 32 votes. So we won't have that reality, but I would be curious if this situation would have caused him to get approved or not. I mean, like
that vote already happened.
Is a Tampa Bay Bucks owner going to go? Is a Tampa Bay Bucks owner going to say, "Hey, I'll approve you to be an owner when you tried to steal our quarterback"?
Right.
I don't know.
And also, the owner that has the cheating coach in that division is going to say, hey, wait a minute, we're the only ones that are allowed to cheat here. You get out of here, okay? So, that's what's going to end up happening. But that vote actually just happened about 2 weeks ago, and they said, yeah, get his ass out of here already. Do it right now. And that's exactly what they did. They cleaned out house. Oh. Interesting. All right, what else are you looking forward to tomorrow for the Dolphins? What should a Dolphin fan focus in on? What does Cameron Wolf tell the Dolphin fan to look at?
Yeah, for me, I always started these preseason games in the trenches because a lot of times we can't see the full live tackle, the full intensity in practice. So I've seen a lot of 1-on-1, 7-on-7s, team drills with Tyreek and Jalen and Tua and the DBs. And I don't believe Tua's going to play. I doubt Tyreek's going to play. So you're not going to have a lot of your big playmakers, but I do want to see how the trenches, I want to see how the O-line faces off against the Tampa D-line. I want to see how the Dolphins defensive front goes against a Bucks O-line who's been banged up. You should be able to feast on a group like this, especially early on. So those are probably the things I'm looking for from the starting units. And then in the back end of the game, some people are going to turn it off in the second half. I like the second half because you get to see some of those bottom of the roster guys, the guys who compete for bowl spots, who are gamers, who shines up. Because there's some guys who look good when you're practicing, but then when the lights come on, they're dull, and the same opposite around. So I would love to see Trill Williams in the elevator role. We talked a lot about him in camp. Last year, he was on the roster, didn't play much. I think he's going to play a bunch. How is he looking, especially if he's going to be your number 4 corner and may even be higher because Byron Jones is we don't have any certainty on when he's going to be back. I want to see Trill Williams thrown into action and how he elevates the role. A rookie like Shannon Tyndall, he's been kind of quiet at this point in camp. He's going to get a lot of play time, I believe. How does he look as he gets into the NFL game? And then even a guy like a Skylar Thompson. We've talked a little bit about him on this show. He looked really good in joint practices when I was out there. Teddy Bridgewater didn't practice yesterday. Skylar Thompson got all the 2 reps. I'm guessing that Skylar Thompson is going to play at least half of the game, if not more, especially play. Yeah. So is this guy got a chance to be a legitimate quarterback? Probably not, as a backup, but can he be the number 3 guy? Then it might be like Reed Sinnett last year where he played so good, you might not be able to sneak him on a practice squad. So those are a few of the things I like to look at when we get into these preseason games.
By the way, KSDT CPA's 3 offices now, one in Broward, at Weston, another one in Dade Land, and now in West Palm Beach, 305-670-3370. From forensic accounting to business valuation, management advisory services, healthcare advisory, property management, wealth management, valuation, they do it all. It's not just about being one of America's best accounting firms or one of America's best tax firms. They do so much. So if you're buying a business or selling your business, make sure you go to KSDT to make sure you're buying the right business or you're selling it at the right price. 305-670-3370. All right, Cam, what are you doing over at NFL Network so folks can check you out, my friend?
Yeah, we just got done doing some coverage, joint practices the last couple of days. This weekend for me, I'm actually going to be light coverage. So I'm going to take the weekend and hang with the fam. I've been on the road for 9 days in a row before heading home for a day and going up to Bucks. So we're actually going to be heading into preseason coverage. And so we'll be a little bit lighter on the training camp day to day, but I will be here next week doing a good bit of Dolphins coverage. So I get to bring you guys some fresh eyes on the Dolphins after being away from them for, much of the last week and a half.
I love it. All right. Follow him on Twitter at Cameron Wolf and catch him at the NFL Network and twice a week here doing his thing and with the KSDT CPA Miami Dolphins and NFL Report. Cam, as always, thank you, my friend. Have a great week.
You. All right, now you have a good one.
You got it. The Wolf Pack has been unleashed.
This has been the KSDT CPA Pro Football Report with NFL insider Cameron Wolf. KSDT is recognized by Forbes as one of the top tax accounting firms for 2022. KSDT CPA is a full-service firm that also excels in crypto. Visit them at ksdtcpa.com or call 305-670-3370.
All right. Hope all of you are doing well out there. Sometimes sons follow fathers, don't they? Sometimes daughters follow mothers, right? Sometimes you're a chip off the old block. I mean, things happen at times in life where you mirror somebody you admire. You mirror somebody you learned under. These are the things that happen in life. And when you look at what's going on with the New England Patriots and their offensive system, Bill Belichick, or is it Joe Judge, or is it Matt Patricia? Who's calling plays? Well, according to Bill Belichick, he says that it's all part of the process. We're going through a process. It's day to day on who is doing it. And when asked about it, because they saw both Matt Patricia and Joe Judge taking turns calling plays on the offense, and they asked him, is that the plan moving forward? He goes, well, we did this game. We did a lot of things in this game that are going to be beneficial in the long run, whether it's on the coaching staff, playing time, players that played or so forth. That's all part of the process. So, Bill, what were the benefits of having Joe and Matt call plays tonight? I thought it would be a good opportunity for us to do that. So do you know if one will call plays when the regular season arrives? Yeah, don't worry about that. We'll work it out. Have you decided? We're going through a process, just like everything else on this team. But wait a minute. You mentioned earlier with the offensive play caller, you're going through a process. What do you need to see? I don't need to see anything. We're just going through a process. Simple as that. It's just a little bit unusual, Coach, for us that have watched you guys before. What do you want me to do? I guess we're just looking for a little clarity as to why we're seeing what we're seeing. Great. Yeah. Going through a process. So last year, we had Bonehead Flo going through a process. Who's calling plays, Flo? And now we know that the rotten apple didn't fall far from the tree. Like Joe Judge, like Josh McDaniels, like who's the other clown that I'm missing that went out of the Matt Patricia. That's the other one that fell out of the bird's nest, because that's what Matt Patricia grew around his face, a bird's nest. So last year, who's calling plays? And eventually we found out it was the Three Stooges, and they would, discuss plays for 40 seconds, then send it down so Charlie Fry could then change whatever play he wanted. And then Flo decided, that might not be a thing that we should do. Maybe we need to change things. Maybe we need to change the process. I got to tell you, I'm loving what I'm hearing from Patriot Land because, see, I'm not the guy that's drinking the Kool-Aid that, oh, my God, Bill will figure it all out, this, that, and everything. He spent a boatload of money trying to adjust everything last year, and it really wasn't that impressive. After spending all that money in free agency, the first round of the playoffs, your quarterback, you didn't put a lot of faith in him. All we're hearing now is that the balls are hitting the ground and that, it's a disaster in the running game and that things aren't, there is no, Dante Scarnecchia at offensive line. There is no Josh McDaniel running the offense now. And now you've got like different people, which doesn't make any sense to me if Matt Patricia's calling plays, because he hasn't been doing this for years and years. He's been calling defensive plays. How's he going to know what feel he has on offense when he is now facing all these new defensive coordinators that he's never coached against? He doesn't know their tendencies. It's a joke. And I think they're going to be a disaster this year. I don't think they even get to 500 this year. How do you like them apples? So when I hear about this process that they're going through, I think of the joke that we had going on down here. And I think it gets to a point sometimes where the smart people think that they're too smart and that they are above, everything and even above reproach and everything. And no, you're not above reproach. No, you're not above being second guessed. And I think that will start to kick in this year when people see that this process is a bunch of bullshit. It's just that he's hard-headed and manipulative and controlling and wasn't willing to maybe hand the reins off on offense to somebody. And the people that he has there are always willing to work under him and be, controlled by him and everything. That's why all of his children, when they leave the nest, they fail every time. Because he really doesn't do a great job of preparing them to be on their own. He sends out the spoiled rich kid who's never had a job in his life, who doesn't know how to earn his pennies. And when he realizes what kind of money you really earn when you work every week and how much money you really need to survive every week, he then realizes, oh my God, my parents were amazing. You know that spoiled kid? Those are the children that leave the Belichick nest. They're never ready. What do you got?
No, I was going to say, watching the game last night, and again, I didn't watch it all the way through every time, but Matt Patricia is just, it's weird. It's aggressive play calling, right? He doesn't stop for anything, whereas Joe Judge in the second half when he was calling was more, you saw a game plan. Matt Patricia was just making plays, calling plays. You could tell like the offense was a little bit like,
there was no structure.
There's no structure, nothing.
Like what we had last year that I kept complaining about.
Which to me, I feel almost is what Belichick kind of wants, which is why he's trying to, I believe, push Patricia, but he's not seeing results. He wants an aggressive play calling more than Joe Judge and a structured as far as slow, kind of like it was slowed down in the second half, whether that was because of what I said about Zap, kind of being rushed or what it was. But to me, I think you're going to end up seeing Joe Judge end up being the offensive play caller.
Well, we'll see. How'd that go?
I prefer Matt Patricia after seeing what I saw in the first half last night. They scored some points, but it looked crazy.
All right.
It didn't look like anything I'd seen out of an NFL team.
I'm telling you, man. All right. Speaking of the Patriots or Bucks or ex-Patriot or ex-Buck, you know where I want to be? I want to be at Rob Gronkowski's official retirement party. Yes, sir. Gronk is holding a party. He's retired this offseason for a second time. So now he's throwing a party. It's scheduled for September 10th at the Mohegan Sun, which is in Connecticut. Tickets were priced at $75. Guess what? Sold out already. Right? So how was the event billed? Oh, man, it's a beautiful thing. It's get ready to party with Gronk at Mohegan Sun FanDuel Sportsbook, which, FanDuel ended up paying some money for all of this. It says snack on complimentary and savory appetizers and pose for custom Polaroid pictures and a 360 photo booth. Vibe to the beats of DJ Who Kid and hang with the one and only Gronk. Don't forget to grab a gift bag on your way out to commemorate this momentous occasion. Keep the party going at the Avalon Nightclub after party. Gronk has used his name and fame to throw parties in the past. You may recall that he had a cruise in 2016 called the Gronk Party Cruise. Those Gronk parties are a hot item. Well, you now have a chance to go to the Gronk party. If you can get in there. I can't get in there. But that is definitely a party I want to go to. I would love to take the wife and go have some fun. That would be a fun party. Because Gronk, while, you call him the fun meathead or whatever, but he just looks like a cool dude. He just looks like a likable guy to hang around with. I got to say, your boy, Ric Flair, did you read the story? The Nature Boy, he goes, I don't think people realized I passed out twice during his fight on August 10th. To Be the Man podcast, he was on it. The 73-year-old legend cited dehydration as part of the reason when he felt sick and lightheaded during the July 31st tag team match in Nashville, which saw him, his partner, and his son-in-law, Andre El Idolo, okay, to take on Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett. He says, well, what happened was my regimentation for training was so strict that I kept my weight. I wanted my perfect weight to be 220 going in. So the last day and a half, aside from all the work that we had planned for me to do, I didn't hydrate. I had it in my mind that I had to go in weighing 219. So I went in the ring and I'm like 217 pounds. And what happened during the body match, during the body of the match is I just became dehydrated. I actually, when I was standing on the apron, I looked at Jay, which started a wheel of motion. I said, man, I think I'm getting sick because I was getting lightheaded. He goes, I was getting lightheaded. I'm not sure it was nerves or what. And he says, guys, we got to move this along. When this isn't what I meant, but to the point when Andre came over and said, your turn, sir, your turn. So I got in and I didn't know where we were in the match because I had missed about clearly 10 seconds of it because he had passed out.
That's not it. Yep. You get that adrenaline going, and then, man, I could only, again, he's 73 years old.
That's the thing, dude.
And of course, he's Ric Flair, so he already gushed his head, and he lost about 62 pints of blood because he's got to be Ric Flair. He can't just be a slow bleeder. It's got to be
Gusher.
Gusher, yeah. And, it was, I was happy to see him get through it.
And live.
I think a lot of people were right, though. I think he honestly would rather have, just die in the ring. Honestly, that's the way I think he goes. Because now there was another article that came out where he says, deep down, I wish I wouldn't have said that was going to be my last match.
God. It's like, you get to a point, you're 73, dude, let it go already. And there are things you can't do anymore. And those are things that you should not be doing.
No, it's like, there's so much. And then, just all the stories from before. And Frankie Fresco, yes, they won the match. Ric Flair won his final match.
I saw it today and I thought about you and I said, Jesus.
Yeah.
I'm sure you talked about it.
Well, he's in partnership with Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
2.0. Yeah.
God.
It's been promoting the hell out of that thing, let me tell you.
That is just amazing. Did you see the Marshawn Lynch video? God, that thing is scary. He was so passed out in his car. They even asked him, hey, did you steal the car? And he goes, yeah. They dragged him out of his car. It's just, he was so drunk. He made Anne Heche look straight. And I know, I don't mean to make light of it. The woman's in a coma. But Jesus Christ, lady, you were loaded with cocaine and fentanyl. And going like 80 miles an hour. You were driving like a Vegas Raider through a neighborhood. What the hell was that? That poor woman. What did she just want to commit suicide? You don't have to drive that fast. All you got to do is take cocaine and fentanyl. Like, where is cocaine and fentanyl a good idea? Just advice for anybody out there. Cocaine, not good. Fentanyl, not good. Cocaine and fentanyl. Seriously? Didn't I not tell you that each one of them was not good? And Marshawn Lynch, my brother, you're this drunk. You know that they should never give him a license again. This is what I mean about gun control. This is what I mean about all these kind of things that goes on. We no longer live in a society where things should be a right. They should be a privilege. We have too many stupid people. They should not be owning guns. They need to go through serious tests, background checks, gun control classes, all those kind of things. People like Marshawn Lynch, when you get busted like this, you should never, ever be able to drive again. Your license should be revoked in all 50 states. People need to be held to a higher standard in this country. We have lowered our standards to garbage. And that's why we allow the Deshaun Watsons of the world to assault people and then continue to do whatever the hell they want. And a Marshawn Lynch to do this and then to continue to drive. And idiots that shouldn't own guns and are committing crimes and all that, and we allow them back out on the street. And we allow them to own guns, and we allow them. No, those aren't their rights anymore. No. You and I that are normal, hard-paying, are hardworking, pay our taxes, we don't get arrested, we have no violent crime history, none of that. We're the ones that got to own guns. We're the ones that should be behind the wheel. But the people that are passed out drunk, you sons of bitches should never touch a wheel again. Okay? It's a disgrace to allow Marshawn Lynch to ever drive again. Because if he's that freaking stupid and ignorant, and if he has that kind of an alcohol issue, that he is not smart enough to not get behind the wheel, that inebriated, we don't need a stupid-ass mofo like that on the streets. And I'm super consistent about this, okay? Bob Kuchenberg lost my respect a long, long time ago. I don't care what he did for the Dolphins. I don't care how great he was as a player. That guy had multiple DUI after DUI after DUI. The fact that he did not kill somebody was unacceptable. The fact that he was allowed behind the wheel over and over again was disgraceful. So to the Kuchenbergs and the Marshawn Lynches of the world, and I know Kuchenberg's no longer with us, but these are the kind of people that if they get behind the wheel again, you give them 10 years in jail. That's what you need. You need to bring people to responsibility. They need to have accountability. There is no responsibility. There is no accountability in this society. And that's why Marshawn Lynch can get away with running over women like he did in Buffalo, and driving like he did the other day in his amazing Cobra Mustang GT. How do you drive that? That's the other thing. You're so drunk that you would destroy your Mustang GT. You know how stupid you got to be? You know how drunk? You know what kind of an alcohol issue you got to have to be the dumbest mofo in the world to destroy your Mustang Shelby GT? And anybody in those cars, that's not a cheap car. That guy was driving it past the rims. You saw that, right? The left wheel was like, there was no tire, there was no rim. It was like the inside of the rim that was left. It's crazy. All right. Yeah, it's cheap for him, but still stupid. No matter how much money you have a nice car like that, I'd want to take care of it. I had a couple drinks. I'm going to take an Uber, right? And I'm going to have a flatbed take that car. I got the money. What's more expensive, the DUI and everything that he's going to go through right now, or an Uber and a flatbed to go home to take your car? The Uber and the flatbed, what's it going to cost you? $150? DUI, thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. So, too extreme that it might be over $100,000 car, that Shelby. Because you got to think about it. He got more bells and whistles than the average Shelby guy. You know what I'm saying? So he's probably has some custom stuff in there. But I mean, if I had if I had an NSX and I was drunk, I would go, man, I'm not driving my NSX now. I'm gonna get an Uber and I'll get a flatbed to take my NSX home. I got the money, right? If I can drive a GT, if I can drive an NSX, if I can drive a Lamborghini, if I can drive a Porsche, I can pay for a flatbed to go. And listen, if you got enough money, you got AAA, and you're not even paying for the flatbed. You're only paying for the Uber. And too extreme, you are correct. Come on, sense ain't common no more, Big O. Yep, you are correct, sir. You are correct. All right, we wrap it up here. We thank Ira Winderman, Manny Navarro, Omar Kelly, and Cameron Wolf. As always, Sean Stanley mastering this program, doing an exceptional job. We appreciate all of you that tuned in, chimed in, downloaded the show whenever you're listening to it, watched it live. And we thank, of course, Craig Zinn, Larry Schlossberg, Pat Nasto, Tony Stampone, all the amazing people that make it happen for us every single month, every single year, 13 straight years here at Craig Zinn's, Acura of Pembroke Pines. We will see you tomorrow. We'll do a little bit of a show after the Dolphins game. So if you want real post-game reaction, you know where to come. Right here on the platform. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place, same bat channel. Have a good one.